and this is Life with Brock, and I have a special guest. We're going to do the second half of the Marvel Legends for new collectors, must-have Marvel Legends for new collectors. Let me bring on my guest, Joey. Joey, what is up, dude?
How's it going? Oh, there you go. I got the notification now.
Okay, so people are being notified. So it's probably going to take a while before some of these folks get back on. Last time we ended up just going over I guess most of your heroes. Is that correct?
Yeah, like 5 shelves of my heroes, I believe. Out of like 5 out of 10 shelves.
All right, here we go. We're starting to get some people jumping in the chat. What's up, Gucci Baby and Nightwalker, aka Curtis? And let me see. It's not registering how many viewers are going live. You know, YouTube's been weird, and might as well make the announcement here. This may be one of the last programs that I do on YouTube, depending on the changes, if any, that are made after December 10th. Once January 2020 comes, if the wording is still the same, I will not be putting out any new videos for fear that I am going to get fined up to $42,000, which is that's completely unacceptable. That would ruin my financial status, and I got to provide for my family. And this is a hobby for me. Those of you that have been following the channel for a while know this is a hobby. We all enjoy ourselves here. This channel is not made for kids, but because of the language used, I don't know if I fall under that criteria, because it's so broad. When they say, you know, characters and toys, and guess what? We talk about characters that are appealing to all ages. This channel and the topics on this channel most likely appeal to all ages, just looking at my demographics. So, but most of my viewers are going to be, you know, Joey's age, my age, that spectrum, not, you know, 4-year-olds. That's just not what's watching, but I can't take that chance. And that's not what we're here to talk about, by the way, people that are joining us right now. So Joey, why don't you chat just really quick about your heroes? If you guys are interested in seeing that was about an 1.5-hour video we shot about. Joey has a humongous Marvel Legends collection that does not have MCU figures, mostly not, comic figures, right? Some MCU figures, but and what were some of your favorite heroes that you talked about last time?
Should I show them physically, and then I'll do that?
Just show them around before we get into. We're just going to let some more people jump in here as they're getting notified. They're still being notified. It's amazing.
Some of the best heroes there, you know, Hulk, Thor, Iron, these 4 right here up front. Some of the best Marvel Legends you can possibly get. Most of the figures on the shelf, some of the best you can get, but those 4 specifically. The X-Men, you have to have all the 90s X-Men. It's a must. Changed out Wolverine, put brown Wolverine there instead. Colossus, and again, he's on both shelves. Oh, I found my little light too. Where'd it go? Dang it, I lost it again. Havoc and Polaris, amazing. They were not on the shelf last time. They were customs last time.
Yeah, I just saw the video that you released. You talked about that Havoc, and that you have a custom Havoc, but you ended up saying that Marvel Legends or Hasbro knocked it out of the park. So you decided to put this one and this one. What about that figure in particular knocked it out of the park?
I like the hair sculpt better, and the jacket better, and the sculpt on the arms is another really, really good one. And so you can see Valkyrie better. Like you get to see her very good last time. Oh, and I added the rest of the Alpha Flight in there. Replaced my custom of North Star up there. But yeah.
So if you had to say, let me just put it on you right now. One figure, one hero, just one figure out of all your collection. I know that's kind of almost an impossible task because you probably feel different on different days. What's one figure that if you're a new collector that you have to have, that it's a must-have figure?
Well, again, I'm going back here. I'm personally probably going to choose. It's hard between one of these 3 here, between Hulk, Iron Man, and Thor. personally, I'd probably choose Thor as my favorite.
Wow, out of your entire shelf right there,
Out of all the heroes, yeah, I would choose Thor.
Wow, I mean, it's a pretty amazing figure.
Another great Marvel Legend. I didn't get to show these shelves last time, so I'm going to show them now real quick. I'm not going to discuss them too much. Just going to scroll through and show them. New Warriors over here, some customs, monster shelf as well. Shield, custom Phantom Rider that I made. It's just the random old school heroes, and then Savage Land characters. And then down there is not Marvel. So
Okay.
yeah, some of the heroes. Oh, and then the Illuminati minus Doctor Strange because I don't have a second Doctor Strange.
All right. Well, let me start asking. Let's bring it back. I think we got enough people. We got about 20 in the chat right now that didn't have anything else to do on a Saturday night. And there is no UFC. So today we are bringing you live Marvel Legends, must-have Marvel Legends. Last time, as we were discussing, those of you that are joining us live right now, we discussed the heroes. We didn't get through all the heroes because, I mean, I wanted to do this in an hour. And as you can tell, Joey's got a ton of figures. So, Joey, why don't you take us now and let's start discussing some of the villains. And as if any questions come up in the chat, I'll bring him up to you. But it's go for it. It's on you. You take us through your section here.
I'm not gonna start here. I'll start up here with my Asgard shelf, which has heroes and villains on it. Probably can't hear me from. I'm kind of low. The shelf's really high up. But the villain on this shelf for sure is Hela, and I really like Ulick as well. Those are two very, very good Marvel Legends.
Well, let me ask you some questions on that shelf, Joey, if I may. I know some of those are not your standard fare Marvel Legends. You're not gonna be able to pick up some of those on at retail. So if you're a new collector, why don't you talk about the ones that are I'm starting to get a little seasick. Talk about some of the ones that are harder to acquire on that shelf and tell them why.
Well, there are a couple here that are San Diego Comic-Con exclusives that have never been re-released. Oh, and the figure just fell. Oh, no. I bumped a figure on a different shelf, and they caused a little avalanche. Hela, I think Hela's over $100 now because she's a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive figure. She's never been re-released, one of the very few. Ulick as well. I'm not sure what he goes for now, but he's never been re-released. They use this wolf from Rampage for Fenris. Malekith you can get pretty cheap because he's been re-released, so there's not. But this is the San Diego Comic-Con version here.
That Valkyrie, right? No, I'm sorry, not Valkyrie. What's her face? That one right there.
Sif. Yeah, she was in that A-Force box set. I think she's the best figure in that whole set there. But
it looks like she's on the Angela body.
Yep, Angela body. Her and Angela are the only figures to use that body mold. And then we have Marvel Select Destroyer, which in my opinion is probably the last good Marvel Select figure we've gotten. So a couple years since he came out now, 2 years maybe. But he's a great
I should have
figure.
picked him up when he was like $20. Now he goes for 50 and 50 plus, I think.
Yeah. And then Hela, I've actually had multiple Helas before because I've been able to find the Vishanti set for very cheap multiple times, and it's way cheaper, especially before Magic became, before Magic got re-released. It'd be way cheaper to buy the Vishanti set and then sell the ones you don't want and be able to get Hela for cheap.
What's your favorite figure on that shelf?
Man, I like Hela a lot, but probably Destroyer.
Yeah.
And then Ulick, just because Ulick has a lot of unique sculpting on him there. Because Hela's mostly just the She-Hulk body mold or the Thundra body mold, but Ulick is a lot of unique sculpting with a couple of Rhino parts here and there. But pretty good figure. But least favorite on the shelf is probably going to be Loki. He's pretty lame. They chose the wrong body mold for Loki. He should have used the Spider UK body mold.
You don't have some of those the older Hasbro Lokis, or were they Toy Biz?
I have the Toy Biz Loki, but he's like he has an old man face, so I never really liked that one too much. And I never found the old Walmart exclusive Loki. Never found that one.
What's wrong with old man face?
When you're an immortal god, you shouldn't look like an old man unless you're like Odin or something. But
what about Boar back there? He doesn't look too young.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But
what's wrong with the old people, man? Come on. All right, so let's move on to another shelf. Let's see what else you got. Oh, I already like that shelf right here. You're missing something. Mole Man. He needs his moloids. What's his name?
I bought one of those Lord of the Rings. What's the little ugly guy from Lord of the Rings that has the Gollum? Yeah, I bought one of him so I can customize it into a moloid. Just never got around to it.
Yeah, I've been buying those up because they go pretty cheap and they're superposable. You can get them between $5 to $10 online, and I've been waiting to. I'm going to customize. I actually just got Mole Man for very, very good mint on card. Those things demand a pretty high price because they never re-released that figure, and who knows? Maybe they'll do one on the Doc Ock body, a new one. But
probably will.
I don't know, but it's a good looking figure.
If he had a little bit more paint sculpt, so you can bring out the details of the moles on his face and stuff, the warts on his face, he'd be great. This right here is Psycho Man from the old Fantastic Four cartoon.
Yeah.
Figures. Fits in scale.
Like that Craig Warwick did a custom of not too long ago.
Yeah, he made a custom of it. And then back there is the Select Doctor Doom. That's been my go-to Doctor Doom for a long time, just because he can sit down and it's just because he can actually sit down. No Marvel Legends Doctor Doom figure can sit down. None of them can keep the leg forward. That's the Doom. And once the scale is right on him, Doom's supposed to be 6'7". This Doom fits perfectly in that scale.
Are you going to be replacing him with the new one that's coming out?
I'm going to get the new one, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure which one I'm going to prefer. I'll figure that out when I actually get it. I have it in hand. I'll give you a for sure answer there.
T-Man's asking, does Mole Man's elbows articulate?
They do, but very, very, like that's it fully bent there.
Yeah, he's limited for sure.
Yeah, I think it bends further backwards than it does forward.
And you have that elbow facing the correct way?
I believe so. I could be wrong. His arm's like weird looking, so it's kind of like a big noodle.
Yeah, that's gonna be a figure if you pick up, and I picked it up because I love the sculpt on that. It represents the character really well, and he's not supposed to be agile or anything like that. I don't need him to get on any crazy poses. His moloids, on the other hand, that's how I envision the setup. Him having 7 or 8 moloids around him. Those little creatures are pretty sweet. Okay, can you talk about why the claw? Why do you have the claw in this group?
Basically, I was starting a Frightful Four or Fearsome Four display, and I only have Thunder and Claw. I need another Hydra Man and another Sandman, but and we really need a Wizard, and the Dragon Man. I need a Dragon Man so we can add him to the Fantastic Four villain collection here, but.
Yeah,
cool. That's my claws here. He's one of 2 claws in my collection. So
my opinion on that shelf, your must-have from what Joey has here, it's got to be that Mole Man.
Mole Man and Namor. He's on different shelves, but I think the Namor figure's great. I think he's a perfect rendition of Namor. But yeah, Mole Man's probably pretty
The
good to have.
Namor goes fairly cheap. You can still get that for under $10 if you get them used. Yeah.
That's why I have like 5 of them.
It has nothing to do with you liking naked guys with Speedos.
Oh no,
That's good.
Namor's been all over the Marvel universe, so he needs multiple figures on your collection shelf. So you have to have multiple Namors if you want a complete team and stuff. Sweet. Anyways, next shelf. 2 figures fell. Songbird was right here, and Citizen V was right here, but now they're down there because
whoops, it happens.
Yeah, because Claw fell over when I was standing on the chair to go up there, so he hit them and they fell on the ground. So
can we see those figures though? Since you had them on the shelf, can you just pick them up and show it to the people watching? Yeah. Oh, you had Songbird there too, huh?
Oh, Songbird's thing broke when she fell.
Her back piece?
Yeah, the peg broke off in her back.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Oh no. Oh, it's okay. I have a second one in my fodder bin. It's okay. I'll replace it.
I was gonna say you can just add a magnet, and that could fix that issue.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, this is the Thunderbolt shelf. I had a few more characters on here, like some more duplicates, but I put them in my Masters of Evil shelf instead. But Thunderbolts is really a team we're slowly building up. I have multiple different teams set up in here. It's not all just one team. I just different eras of Thunderbolts all just together.
Right.
And
all right. So I see you have a ghost. Can you please tell me about the ghost that's on there?
There's Citizen V there. He's Ghost. Yeah, he's a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive figure. Another one that's never been re-released. He actually uses some parts from the old Toy Biz Patriot figure. With the torso was remolded for it, but the legs and stuff was from the old Toy Biz Patriot figure. And
I did not know before I saw this right now, your shelf. I did not know that figure existed.
Ghost?
Yeah. Had no clue it existed.
Yeah, he's in the Thunderbolts box set.
How long ago was that released?
Was Thunderbolts 2013 or 2014?
Okay.
One of the two, 2013, 2014, one of those.
I started collecting Marvel Legends, I think, at the probably like 3rd or 4th quarter of 2014. So I missed that completely. Whoa.
That's a Man-Thing custom I had made a couple years ago. I made it myself.
What body is that?
That is the Marvel Legends Icons Beast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 12-inch Beast. I sculpted all the vines and stuff on him, and it's okay.
I think he looks good. I didn't realize that until recently that he can get that big.
Yeah, he grows in size. He can basically control himself at will. Yeah, I thought he was cool. I thought it looked cool. This is before the Build-A-Figure came out. I hated the Toy Biz Man-Thing, so I wanted a bigger one. And the Build-A-Figure came out, and I like the build. I wanted a bigger Man-Thing. Yeah.
See, it's not for kids. It's not for kids, guys. It's not for kids.
Back here we have the first Lady Beetle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is the Lady Beetle back here. She was part of Thunderbolts for a short time. Another character missing on the shelf is Mach 5, who is the original Beetle. We need a Mach 5 figure. He's a really important Thunderbolt, and so is Moonstone.
Oh yeah, you need a Moonstone, but in what costume?
Just the white one's fine. Any costume would work. Because I actually traded I had a Moonstone, and I traded it to Michael Kern to give it so he can make me a custom of a different Moonstone costume. And so I'm still waiting on that. But
must have right there. Everybody should have that bullseye, and if you're a new collector, that's a great bullseye figure. You want to talk about it?
This is actually a custom bullseye. He's missing the arm, but that's a custom bullseye that I made.
Oh, wait a second! Oh my gosh, I didn't. Well, he's using a Grim Reaper's face.
Yeah, the other bullseye's right here.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's the figure I was talking about. Whoops.
It's fine. Someone asked about Hyperion last time, and there he is. I gave him a different cape though. I hated the straight square cape that he had,
Right.
so I gave him a Toy Biz Vision cape, and
Yeah, that one
I
looks
basically yeah.
Man, I need to get that Ghost after reading.
Another
I've been reading a lot of the 2008, 2009, 2010 comics, and that was a big. He was big in the storyline. Ghost.
yeah, I really want a classic Ghost for my Iron Man villain shelf. I really want a classic looking Ghost.
I don't know if they're going to release them because the MCU obviously is they made him into a female.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm going to get something like that. But that's an awesome looking figure, man. I want that. How much is that?
I'm not sure. At the time when I got him, he was one of the cheaper San Diego Comic Con figures you could find. He was like $30. That was he was one of the cheapest ones at the time, but nobody wanted him. But now I want to say he's like 60 or 70.
Ouch. Yeah.
I want to say that. I'm not 100% sure, but he's pretty up there now. Another really expensive San Diego Comic Con figure, Satana.
Yeah, Satana.
Uses the Moonstone body mold. Her and Moonstone were both in that box set together, and she's pretty expensive now too. I got a really good trade for her. I forgot what I traded the guy, but I traded some guy in the Philippines, and he gave me a really good deal on her, so that was cool.
Nice.
Anyways, up front, Songbird was right here in the empty spot, and so was Citizen V because they're like the two most important Thunderbolts. But
all right, so from that shelf, which is your must-have? Obviously, I say is that Ghost. For a new collector, I would say Paladin. That's easy to get. The Black Ant, even though that's not the costume that I've seen him in the comics when he was in the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, I just needed a Black Ant there. Ghost is probably my favorite figure on this shelf.
Yeah.
But Hyperion, another really important character. He's been all over the Marvel Universe. And we talked about Nighthawk last time in the Defenders shelf. I'm not going to mention him again this time, but I really like Nighthawk. So, but yeah, I think Ghost is probably the most important. And then excluding Nighthawk, Hyperion and Satana would be up there.
Okay. And before you leave, there's a Monster Venom that we didn't talk about, right?
That's actually
or is that Gargan?
That's the Gargan Venom. Yeah, Monster Venom's over on my Dark Avengers shelf that we saw last time.
That's right.
Going down here, you might see some heroes on this shelf, but this is
skip the heroes.
This is supposed to be the Hulk villain shelf because it's people that fight Hulk oftenly. So there's Hulkbusters in there, Wolverines in there.
That leader figure I recently got, and in my opinion, it's a must-have. It's a really well done figure in person. It looks good on camera, but in person, the sculpting, especially that head, man, is fantastic. Absolutely love that figure.
Oh, yeah. He has an amazing head sculpt.
Yeah,
and if only he had an ab crunch and didn't have the ball hips, he'd be amazing. But yeah, I love that head sculpt in that leader.
Right.
And for those who don't know, we got two leaders. We have this one, and then we have the other one whose head looks like something else. So yeah. Oh, there you go. I was trying to be PG here, but yeah.
Ball sack head.
And then this is my go-to Abomination in my shelf because this Abomination's bigger than the Hasbro one.
Yeah.
And it fits better in scale with the newer Hulks, which is Great Hulk is also really cool, by the way. So.
I have a feeling that they're probably they have to re-release that Abomination and the bigger body, right? Because that Rhino body you can't compare it with his new Hulk, right? It'll look too small.
I agree. Yeah, I think
it's a little bit bigger than the Hulk too, isn't he?
I think when they start off, he's bigger, but I think Hulk does. If you go by the Marvel Universe handbook, Abomination's only 6'8" and Hulk's 7 foot, but those heights are way outdated and way wrong now. Right. So yeah, I think Abomination should definitely be bigger than the Hulk.
Oh, and how about why didn't you talk about the Gremlin down there?
Oh yeah, Gremlin. He came. I bought the old Toy Biz Mecha Hulk just for the Gremlin here,
Are you serious?
and yeah,
How much did you pay for that Gremlin then?
I think I sold I think I got Mecha Hulk for like $70, and then I
Okay.
sold him for like 60. So
I
yeah,
scored. I
Gremlin.
bought a broken Mecha Hulk and I fixed them. And I mean, it was just an arm, so I fixed the arm. I paid about $30 shipped, and I got that Gremlin too.
Oh yeah, I love that Gremlin. And that Hulkbuster is a really great figure for Marvel Select there,
Agreed.
and it fits better in scale than the Marvel Legends one does. And then
Yeah.
Wendigo is really cool. He looks even better with the repaint. Like I saw, what's his name? You
Weapon X?
feature him a lot.
Weapon
Weapon
X.
X, yeah, yeah. I saw his repaint, and it looks way better. But yeah, so that's it for that shelf. If you want to ask any questions, or should I go down?
Yeah, go for it. Go to the next one. Somebody here said, "Oh, it was Nightwalker." Says he didn't know that Ghost was a he. In the comics, he is a he, and then MCU took liberties with that.
Yeah, Ghost. Originally in the comics, Ghost was like, he was a pretty decent sized guy, and then when he joined the Thunderbolts, he became a little scrawny guy, and then in the MCU they made him a chick. So getting skinnier, I get. He made it even skinnier by making him a chick. So
Yeah.
next shelf. This is just my Daredevil villains shelf, and so we got Kingpin. Thanks to Mr. Life with Brock for sending me the Kingpin head to finally finish my Kingpin.
Heyo.
And then got Purple Man, Bullseye, Jigsaw, and then the Hand, and Typhoid Mary, and Nuke there.
Hey, talk a little bit about Nuke. I just I want that figure again. I used him for a custom. I used his parts, but now after I read was it it was after the Initiative. What came after the Initiative? I've read so many comics in the last couple months that it's kind of blurring together. But Nuke is actually, if you go up on the Thunderbolts, your Thunderbolt shelf, he's actually, spoiler alert, he's actually used as the kind of like the Demolition Man.
Yeah, Nuke was Demolition Man at one point, but this Scourge here is actually Nuke was Scourge at one point.
Scourge.
But that Scourge up there is Demolition Man.
Right. But they didn't know it was him. He was obviously. I think the other guy died off at some point in the timeline, and then when Norman Osborn brought him back, he brought him back as that. But he was revealed. I'm trying to remember the name of the comic. You keep talking, and I'll think of it. It was really
a
comic.
Was it Siege?
Pardon me? Siege. Yeah, it was Siege in the Siege storyline.
Yeah. So there's Nuke there. I think Nuke's really cool. I had an idea using that Nuke, the cyborg Nuke head, taking that and putting it on. I'm giving someone custom ideas that don't steal my idea here. Getting that new Thor figure, and putting the Thor helmet and hair.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
On that new figure and making it the Ragnarok from Civil War.
Yeah, that's cool.
Cyborg Thor. I thought that was a really good idea because that cyborg Nuke head's useless. I've never once used that head, but using it for Cyborg Thor would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Best figure on this shelf. Oh, this is a custom Steel Serpent that I started working on, never really finished, but.
Fig Life Toy Hunts is Newlay. You guys may know him as Fig Life Miami. You guys know too much. I collect Marvel Legends because they look amazing.
They do look amazing. Best figure on this shelf by far is Kingpin. Bullseye. Actually, no, I wouldn't say by far because Bullseye is really amazing too.
Right.
And then Purple Man's an exclusive from San Diego Comic-Con. Never been re-released either. Been featured a lot. Never re-released.
For anything else?
The head sculpt, I don't think so. Everyone thought they were going to reuse it for Mr. Fantastic, and they ended up not. So.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
That would be an easy custom to make, though. You just need a suit.
Oh yeah. Get a suited body. any really like a Peter Parker head or something, paint it purple, and be fine.
Where did you get the hand? What are those figures?
The hand, well, these three here with the sleeveless look, those were repainted by this guy named Paint Samurai, JD Meg, who used to be on YouTube named he used to be a big YouTuber named JD Meg. But he's going to Paint Samurai now. He repainted these arms. I bought them from him for like $100 for the three. It wasn't too bad.
And I'm sorry, but what figure is that? I missed you. You said it. I missed it.
Oh, it's the Marvel Legends hand ninjas.
Oh, they actually came out with hand ninjas. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they see like 2008, I believe. They're in a 2-pack.
Or if it's before 2014 and they're not Toy Biz, I'm not going to have much of a clue.
Yeah. Okay, I'll explain it then. The hand, they came out. It was a Hand and Shield Agent 2-pack.
Okay.
And the hand reused the same body mold that Ronin used. Hawkeye Ronin used. Yeah. And so they came out like a year apart from each other. And there was 2 variants. There was red hand ninjas and there were white hand ninjas. And yeah, they normally have sleeves on. I can't. It's back there. You probably can't see because it's dark. But
okay.
The normal ones have sleeves on, but I just got these custom ones with no sleeves because they look cool.
Yeah, they do.
But, yeah.
I want some hand ninjas now.
I think we do need some updated ones. The hand ninjas are pretty expensive now, as far as I remember. I think they're going for at least $50 each. Now.
I mean, so, I think if I'm not, I think I'm remembering okay. I think kind of close is that Carl Mordo figure that I guess can be customized to be something like that.
Carl Mordo or one of the MCU Doctor Strangers, but either one of those would work as a good body for a hand ninja, I think.
You would just need the head though. Like what could you use for the head? For the heads?
Well, it depends if you want the hoods or not. If you just want like just random like a Blizzard head could work if you don't need the hoods on, you just need the mask.
Yeah, I'd kind of want the hood. I would want the hoods on.
Hood, well, you probably take it from the MCU Taskmaster or MCU Ronin, something like that.
Okay, yeah, that's not bad. It's not a bad idea.
But yeah, so yeah, Kingpin and Bullseye, the best figures on the shelf.
Yeah, good. So that's a must-have for new collectors. Moving on
down.
Okay, got some Toy Biz.
A couple Toy Bizes here. Toy Biz Vengeance, still a really great figure. I have his bike, but I actually stepped on it the other day, so I need to glue it and fix it. So, and then Blackheart is my favorite Toy Biz figure by far. I think he's an amazingly sculpted figure, amazingly articulated, and he's a very tall figure.
Yeah,
I think
Dormammu.
Yeah. And Dormammu's over here being a Build-A-Figure, or this is the San Diego Comic-Con version, but he was used as a Build-A-Figure, and he's the same height as Blackheart, was single-carded released. I believe Blackheart was the second tallest Toy Biz single-carded figure.
Oh, wow.
After Sasquatch and then Blackheart. And then we got Marvel Select Mephisto here.
That's an expensive figure.
Yeah. I got him for $45, but I need his chair. Don't have his chair, but it's okay. My favorite figure on this shelf, I love all the figures on the shelf except for Scarecrow. Scarecrow is okay, but the Scarecrow's from the Ghost Rider movie line that Hasbro did. Okay. But Scarecrow's technically, I wish we had a newer Scarecrow with his actual old school look. I'd put that one with my Iron Man villains. But yeah, this is the Ghost Rider villain Scarecrow. My favorite figure on this shelf, one of my favorite Marvel Legends in general is Dormammu. I love this Dormammu here. He's an amazingly beautiful figure and one of my favorites in general.
Yeah, I don't have that figure. I think I want him now. I'm almost done with the hood, and you need a Dormammu to go with the hood.
Oh yeah. Don't mind me. He's just a great figure. And then Blackheart again. Mephisto is okay, but we could really use an update on Mephisto.
I would say Blackheart's still pretty easy to get. So if you're a new collector, that's an older figure. It has ball jointed hips, but the sculpt is pretty amazing, and the paint on it is pretty cool. You can't tell from the lighting here, but maybe you can tell a little bit. You can't see the purple hue on it.
Yeah, he's a beautiful figure. I love this figure. He's one of the. Sorry, what was that?
Say somebody, Doodog, used his tail. He got one of those figures to use it on the lizard because that tail is posable.
That's actually kind of, it's posable, but it's kind of weak. Like you can, I can show it with one hand here. The bendy wire kind of stops like right here. You can't really bend it more than that. The tip of the tail doesn't bend. It bends, but it's not going to hold. And then down here, towards the bait, towards his butt, it's very solid, and it doesn't. You can't bend it at all. So the tail kind of. But I mean, it's still a cool tail. It's a really long tail. I mean, his tail is taller than Bullseye, taller than Kingpin. So.
Right.
But yeah, this is a great figure, and he's one of the cheaper Toy Biz Marvel Legends too. So. Definitely recommend getting him.
It's pretty cool.
And he's dope looking too. So let me lay him down here. My bottom shelf here. These are figures that were given to me. They were given to me by a friend.
Those are all Marvel Select, right?
Yeah, Marvel Select, Marvel Zombies.
Yeah.
If I can be honest, I never had any desire to get these figures. I was never a big fan of the Marvel Zombies series.
Right. Yeah,
but I still have them because they were given to me as a gift by a really good friend who's no longer with us. So, him, Chris Gilhan.
Oh, Chris Gilhan. Yeah. He helped me complete my blob.
Yeah, he just messaged me one day, said, "Hey, what's your address? I'm giving you some figures." And I said, "Don't do that." And he said he's doing it, and he gave me these.
Yeah,
these are.
He's a nice dude.
They had the bases and everything, but yeah, I miss that guy. So these are staying on my shelf forever because of that. Even though I was never a big fan of Marvel Zombies.
Hey, that Magneto is pretty cool looking.
Oh yeah, they're all really cool looking. I think Sabretooth's really awesome, but it's pretty cool. I like them. But they're staying on my shelf just because they're a gift.
I hear you. That's good.
Okay.
Here we go. Now we're gonna get into some nitty-gritty stuff.
Yes. The bigger shelves.
Yeah.
Down here.
You have to get some LED strips, dude.
Yeah, I don't need LED strips. It sucks. It's my Hydra, A.I.M, and then just the Russians shelf. Captain America villains, basically.
Do you have a Madame Mask in there anywhere?
Madame Mask, I do, but she's an Iron Man villain.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, we're gonna get to her.
Yeah, got Madame Hydra there, also known as Viper. And that Red Skull head, that's actually a cast of the Mezco Red Skull.
Yep.
It's way better than anything Marvel Legends has given us. And the body is the Spider Noir. So,
yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Must have here, MODOK. You must have a MODOK.
I saw one today on eBay for $60.
Oh man, that's a good deal. He's a
great deal.
He's a good figure. For a long time, he was not very desirable. He was like maybe $40 for a long time.
Yeah, I know. Crazy. It's a beautiful. Matter of fact, you helped me complete it. Oh yeah. You helped. I can't remember which part you sent me, but you sent me actually a very important part. I think it was like one of the sides.
is whatever piece came with Moon Knight. That's the one I sent you.
Yeah, that was the hard. Yeah, because Moon Knight's a pretty popular figure, or was at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, MODOK, I agree. I would say actually that Crossbones looks pretty good too. But I need some more of those AIM soldiers or AIM, whatever you call it, scientists.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I like the AIM scientists are my favorite army builders. I love them.
Yeah,
I got a lot of Hydra, but AIM's my favorite. I really want one of those. I want one of those repainted Paladin ones to use as the Scientist Supreme. That's what I really would like. I would be able to find one.
That's a great idea. What would you have to add to that to make him?
Not much. I mean, it's pretty much exactly how he looks for the most part. I mean, it's a little slightly inaccurate, but mostly just as long as he has the beekeeper head and the backpack on, he's pretty much a pretty good Scientist Supreme.
Oh, cool.
This Crossbones. Oh, let me get down here. This Crossbones, I got him for really cheap because he was missing his vest and he had no head. I bought a casted his, the first thing I ever painted, and
it's good.
That paint job came out really good. I think it's like 5 years ago now. I think, but
I didn't know that they used the Hulkling. Right, that looks like it's the Hulkling.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, it's Hulkling. It's crazy. And then Strucker, he needs an update.
He does, but man, that head sculpt's awesome. Maybe a little small, but
yeah, I definitely agree. Now, I think we should go up from here.
Yep.
Oh,
ooh.
We go to the Masters of Evil, or just random Avengers / Iron Man villains. Start over here. More of the Iron Man villains and the Serpent Society in the middle. I want more. I want to complete this team really badly.
That's Madam Hydra right there in the green.
Yeah, Viper. Madam Hydra, Viper.
Viper, okay.
When she's with the Serpent Society, she's Viper. When she's with the Hydra, she's Madam Hydra. And there's Madam Mask, one of Tony Stark's ex-girlfriends, and the daughter of the daughter of Count Nefaria.
Is that who you have back there?
That's Count Nefaria there.
Okay.
That's the first custom I made, so pretty good, I think. He's okay.
Who's
maybe he's not
right here in the lore? Not the Mandarin. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, who's that?
That's a guardsman.
Guardsman.
He's a. I made him too. He's a whirlwind body with a blizzard head and a little bit of sculpt.
Cool.
And a repaint.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, the guardsman. He's one of the Iron Man's armored villains. Who's like a one issue type of thing. Okay. And then for a while they had him as like the whole bunch of guardsmen armors were given to the raft guards to defend, to stop supervillains from breaking out and stuff.
Hey, somebody's calling you out that you're struggling holding your phone and your flashlight. Big life toy hunts.
Yeah, I'm also sitting on the ground and it really hurts, so I'm trying my best here. But yeah, maybe Nefaria is not very good since you didn't say. You didn't mention anything.
I was actually paying attention to the lore, right? Because I don't really remember. What's standing out to me is it looks like Doctor Strange, his head.
Yeah, he does.
The character does look like a little bit like Doctor Strange in the comics.
Everyone always thinks he's Doctor Strange, but he's actually a really powerful character himself. He has the combined powers of of Wonder Man, Goliath, couple other characters, and he's taken on the Avengers multiple times, and he's whooped them pretty bad. He's actually the one who caused the death of Thunderbird in the comics as well.
Okay, yeah, the storyline that I read him in, when Madam Mask goes to him with the Hood, who happened to be her boyfriend at the time, he got pretty easily handled by the Avengers.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did.
Back in the back in the old days in the comics, he was a pretty formidable villain back in the day.
All right, so talk about that. Talk about the elephant in the room right there. You got to talk about him.
Fin Fang Foom.
Yep.
Is that the elephant you're talking about?
Absolutely.
This is a real Fin Fang Foom. He's an amazing Marvel legend. Is he undersized? Yes, but to get a in scale Fin Fang Foom, he'd have to be like gigantic. Yeah, because Fin Fang Foom is 115 meters tall. So like, you know, he's a gigantic guy. So a gigantic, you know, alien dragon. But yeah, he's a great figure. I'd recommend him for anybody. I saw someone say he needs an update. I wouldn't say he needs an update.
Just a re-release. I agree.
Just a re-release, I'd say. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fantastic figure right now. To buy the original one, I think he goes for like $250, around that, $250, $300. But
yeah, I got him
for KO that you can get for $100. I picked one up on eBay, a KO, which looks, which is it's a phenomenal KO.
It really is. It's great. I've seen it. I've seen one in person before. I did a comparison between the KO and my real one, and they're both really great. Fin Fang Foom he's a really great. Really, if you have the money to get it, I would say get it. I got mine for a really good deal. I think I paid $200 for him, which at the time was a really good deal. Right. His price has dropped since the KO came out, but I got him before the KO came out. His left arm alone is like $150. So
yeah, because who did he come with? Is that the one that comes with the Hulk, or
it comes with the end Hulk?
Right.
Yeah, that figure, getting that figure mock is like $150 at least, and because you're not going to find it loose. To finish off the Iron Man villains, you have Blizzard, Grey Gargoyle, Beetle.
I like that Ultron. I think that's good looking Ultron.
Marvel Select Ultron. He's an amazing figure. He was really cheap for a long time, so I don't know what he's going for now, but he's definitely one of my favorite villain figures too. Living Laser. I wish we would have gotten the classic Living Laser figure rather than this modern looking one.
Yeah.
And Whirlwind, Dread Knight, and Black Knight. That version of Black Knight was on the Avengers for a very short time. He was he was on the Avengers for a long time. On the Masters of Evil for a very short time as a undercover agent for the Avengers, and his uncle was on the founding members of the Masters of Evil back in the day. I wish we had that.
Hey, who's the dude on the horse? Is that Swordsman? No.
That's Dread Knight.
Dread Knight. Can you tell me about him? I have no idea who that is.
Basically, Dread Knight, he's an Iron Man villain. He's a lot like Black Knight, just without the enchanted sword.
Okay.
And he was Latvian, and he had some kind of skirmish with Doctor Doom, and so that mask on his head, it's kind of like I don't know if it's welded, if it's like burnt onto his face like Doom's mask was.
Oh, okay.
But basically, Doom condemned him for rebelling against him, and he became an Iron Man villain later on. Joined up with the Mandarins, Masters of Evil a lot, and he had a lot of appearances in the old Iron Man cartoon back in the day. If you want to see more videos, any episodes about him.
Yeah, I got Disney Plus, so I'm eventually going to get to that. By the way, if people are wondering where you got that horse, that's going to be a Lord of the Ring horse, correct?
Yes, this is a Lord of the Rings horse. This is the black horse. I have a black horse, a white horse, and a brown horse, and I would give the black one to Dread Knight. Eventually, I want to add some dragon wings onto him to have him flying, but haven't gotten around to doing that yet either. But
who eventually to?
Huh?
I missed who you said you're going to add wings to.
The horse. I'm going to add some dragon wings on that horse.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Because his horse has like demon wings.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Let me change positions here real quick.
You can't leave that shelf yet because you got a bunch of
I'm not done.
Okay.
Got the wrecking crew back there. These guys not going to be my shelf. These guys are going to be leaving my collection soon. I have a custom wrecking crew coming that I traded these guys for. So just waiting for those to come to me. These are great figures.
Is it Michael that's doing it?
Yeah, Kern's doing them.
Did he do it on the same buck, or is he using different bodies?
Different body molds, because these figures are great and amazing, and some people might be okay with the scale on them. I'm not. They should be much shorter. They should be, like Thunderbolts 6'6", Wreckers 6'3", Pile Drivers 6'4", and so they should be much shorter than they are. But they are amazing figures. I really like them a lot. But
just wait until you see my customs. They're going to offend you.
I know, I've seen them. Oh no! Oh no!
Uh-oh. You think that one fell?
Yeah, Tarantula fell from here and took them all out. Okay. Well,
that's all right. It just gives you an excuse to redo your shelves again.
Yeah, I just redid these the other day, but the custom Nitro, you might know him as the guy that exploded, causing Civil War to start.
Oh, yeah. Right, but Speedball got blamed for it.
Yeah.
That's a great storyline, man. If you guys that are watching right now, go back and read that. That was just fantastic. All those comics around, the writing was so good.
Oh, yeah. Kern made this Nitro here.
What body is that? It looks like is that a Grim Reaper body? Is that the Grim Reaper?
Yep, that's actually Grim Reaper we use too. We use Grim Reaper, and then we use a Sentry head on there. That head looks better for Nitro than it does for Sentry. I think it looks better for Nitro anyways. And Tiger Shark, I like Tiger Shark a lot too. I think he's a really great figure. So figures that fell was Claw. We saw him earlier.
Yeah.
Eel fell. Taskmaster, who I gave the bow and arrow from Danny Moonstar to. So I have 3 Moonstars, so I figure I give 1 to Taskmaster.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that figure.
I like him too. I wish he was on the Grim Reaper body though.
I'll tell you right now that as a character, he's absolutely one of my favorite characters in the comics.
Me too.
He's funny. It's comedic relief every time he's on.
Oh, definitely. I think he's a great character. I love his backstory and his I just love how he can copy literally anybody's skill set.
Right. When he was his buddy's Black Ant. They're like bosom buddies. It's hilarious. Every time they're in a comic together, it's comedic relief.
Enchantress, she was on the Asgard shelf earlier, but here she is in Masters of Evil as well.
Mm-hmm.
Really need an Executioner to go with her.
Yes.
It's insane that we still have not gotten an Executioner figure.
Yeah, he wasn't that major in the MCU. I mean, he was. I love that actor, by the way, but he wasn't. He didn't have that much of a role. It was it seemed like it was a short role in the movie, so maybe it didn't give him enough to do a comic version.
And then we had Scorpion and Doc Ock on the Masters of Evil shelf. You might be wondering why are these Spider-Man villains, Shocker, and these guys Masters of Evil, but Doc Ock actually led the team for a short time, and Scorpion was on it for a short time too. I believe in the 80s or 90s they were on it for a very short time. But he looked like this. He was small still and everything during the Masters of Evil time.
All right, Joe, we got something in the comments. We have Abel. He's saying that how do you deal with the dust? Because he's an MOC collector. And he says displaying them like this would drive him nuts because he would have to deal with the dust. What do you do? Well,
my collection, I kind of changed up very often. So, every couple months I add new figures in, change the poses around, so I gotta wipe the dust down. But dust doesn't really build up on the figures too much unless they have like deep crevices. Like Ironmonger has dust inside of where his head's at. But most of the figures stay pretty dust free. Just as long as you're updating and moving around a lot, you don't got to worry about dust too much, except for characters that have deep crevices on them.
Hey, where you're living right now, do you find that the dust is different than in California as far as the amount of dust that's coming in?
My shelves are dustier than they were back home. You can see the little bit of dust there, but I wouldn't say it's too different. Why is it not focusing? I wouldn't say it's too different. I mean, my collection doesn't get any dirtier at all. It's nowhere near like the door or anything like that. So, not too crazy. Last two figures for this shelf were two people who are never on the same team together because one's the father of the other. But we got Baron Zemo, Baron Heinrich Zemo,
yeah, and
custom Baron Helmut Zemo.
Yeah, I like that figure.
I do too.
Good job.
It was me, so thank you.
Hey-o! Yeah, that looks good. So you just took the original, or not the original, but you took the one that was released in by Hasbro, and what did you do to it? Because that does look pretty good.
I basically just combined pieces from this one and pieces from this one, into making this one. I have this one with my Hydra.
And you painted it too. It looks like you painted it.
Oh yeah. Oh, everything's falling over. Yeah, and I repainted it.
The struggle is real. Yeah, it looks good. It's having trouble focusing. It's focusing on the.
I'm noticing that. I'm trying to figure out why it's.
There we go.
Oh, there you
go. Oh.
All right, let's move on from here. Most must-have figures on this shelf. I'd say I'm not going to count my custom Baron Zemo, but Baron Zemo is a must-have figure. He's not on this shelf. He is a must-have figure.
I need a Baron Zemo.
I would say Fin Fang Foom's must-have, but he's very expensive, so he's really not a must-have, but he is a great figure. Ultron is a must-have. Like, for villains in general, not just your Avengers villains, just villains in general, Ultron is a must-have. This is by far the greatest Ultron of all time. And the ball joints actually make sense for this character, so they don't bother me. For most people, I'd say the Wrecking Crew are must-have, but for me, they're not. And for me, my must-have is Tiger Shark. I like Tiger Shark a lot. The purple just shines on him, and it's amazing. But
somebody wants to know where Fluffy is.
I don't know who Fluffy is.
Who's Fluffy? I thought it was going to be a pet, but I'm pretty sure one of your pets is called Nightcrawler, and then your new snake is called Nightcrawler, and then I forget what your bearded dragon is called.
Clea and Nightcrawler.
He doesn't have a Fluffy.
Tarantula fell from here, but there you go.
Yeah.
I don't have any paper with me, Fig Life, so I can't be doing that. Here we go with the Spider-Man villain shelf. This right here is my least favorite shelf to update because there are so many figures and pose in kind of dynamic poses that it's a nightmare to display this shelf. But
are you going to upgrade to the new Vulture? Or you're going to keep the old school Vulture?
I'm going to have one of each because I'm going to put the Blackie Draco head on the new Vulture and then have this one as my Adrian Toomes Vulture. Because I'm crazy like that.
Yeah, you are.
Custom Molten Man back there.
Oh, okay, that's cool. You used that. Is that a nuke head?
It's a nuke head on an X Nilo body.
And it looks like you painted it too, because that doesn't look like the right.
Yeah, Kern did that.
Okay.
But yeah, very cool. He made it a more of a solid gold. You can't really tell in here, but there's like sparkly gold plastic.
Apparently, Fluffy is from Nick and Nora.
I have no idea what that is.
Me neither. We're in the same boat. You're gonna have to give us more clue. I guess they're not going to be Marvel Legends characters. Pretty sure.
There's more customs back there. There's a Basilisk, who was a like one-off Spider-Man villain in the Marvel team up back in the 70s, but I made him. And then Equinox.
Equinox? Oh, is that the one that you used? That head that came in that with Speedball? What's his name?
Oh no.
No. Which one's Equinox? I was looking at what's his. That's Silvermane. Silvermane, yeah.
I was talking about the guys behind him. Basilisk is the green guy, and the
oh, way back there, I see him now.
And then Equinox is the guy in front of him, the ice-looking guy. Equinox's powers is he controls fire and ice.
Oh, that's cool.
He was in the Initiative for a little while. I know he's kind of not a prominent role, but I know he was in the Initiative, so you might have seen him in that.
I don't remember. I didn't read every single Initiative comic. I just read what was in that storyline. I'm not sure if Avengers Initiative. I don't think I read every single one of the comics in that.
I had some flames on his head, but I think they fell off down there somewhere. But
you have another Taskmaster.
Taskmaster back there too.
You are crazy. Yep. You are crazy.
And there's another Juggernaut. There's a Juggernaut there too.
Yeah.
I need another Juggernaut for my Thunderbolt show. I'm waiting on one. He's coming in that package with the Wrecking Crew, like Indian from Kern. I bought a Juggernaut from him too, so I'm with the Juggernaut coming as well. Oh, my finger just locked up. Oh, sorry, my finger just locked up on me, so I just dropped my phone. Best figures on this shelf. That's really hard because there's a lot of really good ones here. Personal favorite. He's my favorite Spider-Man villain is the Lizard, even with his Velociraptor face. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's having trouble focusing though.
Yeah, I know it's going to be an issue. I think
it has to do with the lighting. The lighting's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Most likely.
There you go.
Lizard. I like Lizard a lot. Even though he has a raptor face, it makes me like it even more.
I mean, the majority of those figures you can still get them for a decent price. So if you're a new collector, I'm not sure how much the Tarantula goes for, but I'm thinking that one needs an update for sure.
Yeah, he definitely does. He's a terrible figure.
The rest of those figures, I think I'm not sure how much that Green Goblin goes for.
Not much either. I think Green Goblin's still like a $20 figure.
Oh, okay, so I think people are. If you're new to collecting, you just go with what characters you. Well, actually, that Electro went up in price. I know that.
And Mysterio is pretty pricey too.
Yeah. So there's a couple there that you're not going to be. There'll be a little bit over retail, but still fairly attainable if you're interested in the character.
And Mysterio is an amazing figure too. So he's Mysterio, Lizard, and probably Doc Ock. If you change the tentacles on Doc Ock, which I did, I gave him the Toy Biz tentacles.
Okay, the bendy ones.
Yeah. If you did that, then I would say those three. If you don't change the tentacles on Doc Ock, then Kraven would take his place.
Got it. Yeah, so we have the Sinister Six, right? Are we missing anybody? Anybody that's significant from the Sinister Six? I know there's been several teams, but I think they've produced.
We have all the main members now. I know Hobgoblin was on team before, Green Goblin was on team before. But basically, I have this whole middle of this display. The middle part is the Sinister Six, and then outside, we over here the Sinister Syndicate with Beetle, Rhino, Hydra Man.
I love Boomerang. I don't love the figure so much, but the character is awesome. I love him. He's another funny guy.
I really want a classic Boomerang in his old school cheesy costume. I really want that costume.
Isn't that figure kind of purple and green or something? I feel like it's
purple. It's purple and blue and has boomerang. He's a boomerang above his eyebrow, like 5 boomerangs on his costume. It looks stupid, but I want it.
So people are saying this is their favorite so far. Oh, somebody's saying, is Silver Sable bad?
She's not bad per se. Neither is Prowler and Puma. They're all kind of more like allies, but also enemies at times to Spider-Man. So they're, Silver Sable's a mercenary, so she'll do whatever she's really paid to do, but she leans more towards the good side. But she is still a mercenary. She has Sandman and Puma were both part of her Wildcats before. So was Paladin, actually. So, I mean, not the best people to be hanging around with. So
that's true.
But, I mean, she's a great figure and everything. But yeah, she could go really either or. You can put her on your villain shelf or your hero shelf. But for me, I put her with my villains. Okay, so I go and move it up. Oh, and that's Toy Biz Hobgoblin up there, by the way. I like the head sculpt and the cape better on the Toy Biz Hobgoblin than the Hasbro one.
I agree.
Plus, Hasbro is really expensive. So, going up.
Is this like a mainly Toy Biz shelf right here that we're going to look at? Almost? No. Half an hour.
No, it's like maybe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Toy Biz figures on the shelf.
Oh, you're right. I was thinking the Blob is Toy Biz, but it's not.
Blob is a great Build-A-Figure. He's really pricey now, though. And I'm fairly confident he's going to get re-released soon. Or remade or re-released, one of the two.
I hope it's going to be as large as the Toy Biz one. Otherwise, I'm fine with the Toy Biz one.
Hasbro one, but yeah. Hasbro one, but yes.
I'm sorry. Thank you. For whatever reason, every time I look at the Blob, I think it's Toy Biz, but it's Hasbro.
I believe it might have been sculpted by Toy Biz, but it was released under the Hasbro banner after they switched. I think he was the second or third Hasbro Marvel Legends wave.
Like a lot of people don't know that Fing Fang Foom is actually Hasbro.
Oh yeah.
Let that sink in when you realize that Hasbro actually did that as a Build-A-Figure.
And Fin Fang Foom was the second largest Build-A-Figure ever, and it's made by Hasbro.
Yeah.
The first biggest Build-A-Figure is this guy here.
That's a great figure. The Sauron. Oh, man.
Sauron is amazing. I was talking about Sentinel, but Sauron's incredible. I love Sauron. He's a great character and he's an amazing figure. So, he's just fantastic.
Yeah, so you're right. That the Sentinel's awesome. Somebody in England right now actually made a KO Sentinel because those Sentinels go for like $180 to over 200.
No, I saw some KOs like 2 years ago. Someone was making KOs in the Philippines, and they were trying to make a deal with me to do it, but I kind of back them, and I didn't do it because I was like I could have got like 6 Sentinels for like $30 each, I believe, the KO ones they were working on, but I just didn't go for it.
You never released it though, right?
I don't think they ever did. No.
So there's somebody in England right now that made one. It's just not as articulated, but the sculpt is the same. The paint is actually very, very good. Dudog did a review on his channel. He ended up getting a couple.
Yeah, I like this Sentinel. He's a really good figure, but I actually prefer the look of the Hasbro Sentinel, the Future Past one, because it looks more classic. Yeah. I just don't have it. I just don't have that one. I've had this since I was like 7 years old, so he's taken around for a long time. But I'm never gonna get rid of this figure because of that. But but I would like to have
You've been watching
one.
the cartoons on Disney Plus. The Sentinels look like the ones that Hasbro, the Marvel Universe Sentinels.
Oh yeah, definitely. Nightwalker, Sauron's powers. He's basically a vampire. He drains energy from you to power himself. If you look into his eyes, he can control you. Sauron's basically a pterodactyl vampire, basically.
Yeah, I love that figure, and I saw Action Figure Toronto did a repaint, and his was spectacular, man. Sauron,
it was incredible. I seen that too. Yeah. Onslaught is another really good figure. Should be taller. I think he should be bigger though. Actually, I have mine standing on his tiptoes.
I was going to say taller than the Juggernaut.
No,
there it looks like he's taller.
He's big, taller here because I have him on his tiptoes. You can probably see if he put it way back there. You might be able to see. No, can't see it. But yeah, he should be bigger. He should be bigger than the Juggernaut, quite a bit bigger than the Juggernaut. But this Juggernaut is amazing. That's the 80-year Juggernaut from the 2-pack.
Yeah.
I love that Juggernaut. I loved the Build-A-Figure, and then this one just destroyed him.
Yeah, it's one of the better figures that they've produced.
Oh yeah. There's a heavy rumor that this guy might be the Build-A-Figure of the Age of Apocalypse wave next year.
Yeah, Sugar Man.
Yeah.
Be interesting. I like that Sugar Man figure. My wife hates it because because of the way it looks.
He's creepy as hell, but he's really cool looking.
Does your electronics still work on that?
He does, but I'm not gonna do it right now because
I'm not gonna ask you to. I have one. I recently got one, and we'll see if Hasbro does it. It'll be hard to beat the sculpt. Obviously, the articulation will probably be better, unless they do it like Spider Ham, and that would stink. But that'd be interesting.
Here's the newest addition to the X-Men villain shelf. Deadpool from he was an X-Force villain back in the day, and then here's Strife, who I need to customize still. I need to paint him silver still, but
that's a much better look. The size wise just gives him more of a presence.
Because before, with the way he used to be, he was shorter than Cable, and they're supposed to be clones of each other. And Strife's actually, with all the armor, he makes him taller than Cable, but we got Magneto here, who's also kind of disappointing. I feel like they used the wrong body mold.
What do you think they should have used?
The Grim Reaper body.
Yeah.
He needs beefier legs. Even though Magneto, floats around, his legs are still, he's still a big beefy guy, especially the way Jim Lee drew him.
Why don't you get yourself another Red Guardian and just
I need to do that. I really do. It's funny because Magneto and Loki. I said earlier how Loki should have been on the Spider UK body mold. Right. Magneto should have been on the Grim Reaper body mold.
I agree with you on that.
They should have traded their body molds.
I see Loki like a lanky, more lanky, muscular, not thick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How are they thick standing and not falling there? They're so tight together. Well, because they're so tight, it makes it so it's hard for them to fall. But when they do, it's a big disaster, like you saw earlier. Basically, it just takes a lot of balance. You gotta have really good balance to get these figures to stay.
Did you get the new Apocalypse?
I did not. I just kept Toy Biz Build-A-Figure one because he's big and you can stand on the back of the display. Takes up less space, him being big, than he would being.
Is yours missing the hoses?
Yeah, I bought him when he only had one hose when I bought it, so I took the other hose off just because I never
You never wanted to find a second hose? Okay.
Yeah, it's too much work. Mr. Sinister, an amazing figure.
Yeah, I agree. It's a great figure.
And so is Mystique. And Omega Red and Silver Samurai, both of them. Incredible. Sabretooth should have been on the Omega Red body mold.
Yep. A bunch of customizers have been releasing them lately on that body.
I've seen that.
Better. I don't really care much for that head sculpt, to be honest. I prefer I think it's the Marvel Select one.
Oh, they're both. I like both of them. I like the sculpt and the Marvel Select one. They both are good. But yeah, I agree. I mean, I can see why you might not like it.
Well, I've seen them put it on the bigger body, especially in the bigger body. It looks a little bit too small for the Omega Red body. That's just my, from my taste. I like that Silver Samurai. That's a good figure, and it's going for cheap right now. Like you can get it for like $14.
Yeah, he's amazing too. It's kind of crazy how he's so cheap right now. Like, he's not selling as well as you would think he would, but
just not a very popular character for mainstream. Yeah. He's not as mainstream as all the other ones. I've seen Omega Red either, but he's sold well.
Yeah, so Omega Red's really cool. I love Omega Red. He's a great figure.
Yeah, I agree. So you got who's Sculpt? No, that's what's his face. That Reaver. What's his name? What's his name?
Oh, Skullbuster.
Yeah, Skullbuster. There you go.
I need a second. I need to do I need another nuke body so I can put the other head on it for the for what's his name? I know his name. Can't think of it. Reese. For Reese.
Yeah, there you go, Reese.
And that custom there, that's Bastion. That's that was made by Left Hook Customs.
And Left Hook Customs was up in here earlier. I think he's probably gone.
Oh, Z Gamer, I'm sorry. There is no MCU shelf. Oh, and I saw someone's question earlier. I meant to respond to it. Someone asked about Scorpion earlier about the
There you go.
There he is, the Z Gamer again. I have the Toy Biz Scorpion with Spider-Man shelf, and I have the new Marvel Legends Scorpion with the Masters of Evil. So that's why he wasn't with them. Because he looked exactly like this with the Masters of Evil. Meanwhile, Spider-Man, he's looked like this and he's looked like that. So I try to be accurate to the looks on the team if I can. So, best figures on the X-Men shelf.
Ooh, that's going to be a hard one, dude. But yeah, there's a lot of great figures there.
Yes, there are. I kind of went. I don't know. This is really tough because for new collectors, so I'm assuming someone who's getting in this year, I would say Mr. Sinister.
Yeah.
Mr. Sinister, he's my favorite X-Men villain in general. And he's a really amazing figure. So I'd definitely recommend him. But most of his figures on the shelf are great. Even Caliban, who's not a very important character, he's a great figure.
And he's going for cheap. You can find him for like $30 and cheaper.
Yeah.
On eBay.
Definitely.
You know what we talk about? That you have a couple that are super expensive figures on the way back. Phoenix. Is that the one from the 2-pack? Yeah.
Yes. Dark Phoenix, yep. I have the regular Phoenix is over here with the X-Men. Juggernaut is a must-have. 80-year Juggernaut, must-have. No doubt about it. Sauron. He's an amazing figure. If you just want amazing figures, then Sauron is a must-have. But if you want important X-Men characters, I wouldn't say he's a must.
Yeah, you should just get that Colossus Juggernaut 2-pack because you can still get that for like $60. Yeah.
So yeah, basing it on important characters, easy to get, and good looking figure, Mr. Sinister. Silver Samurai, Juggernaut, Omega Red. There's 4. I give 4. I can't go less than 4 on this shelf here. So there you go. And then next is the last villain shelf that actually has some heroes on it too, but it's the Cosmic Shelf. Where is Kingpin? He must have just hopped in because Kingpin was over here in the Daredevil villain shelf here. Street level villain shelf. Anyways, Cosmic Villains. This is arguably my favorite. It's probably my favorite shelf.
It's one of your better looking displays too,
because the light shines on it. It's high up.
Yeah.
It's like my Avengers. It's the lights on it perfectly. You can see it really clear because of the lights. But let's start with some non-villains because we've been very, very villain heavy. Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's a great Groot figure. That's the Marvel Select Groot.
Yes, it is. Marvel Select Groot's amazing. Because he's so much bigger and better sculpted than the what's it called? The Legends ones.
Yeah, the Build-A-Figure and then the other individual release.
And the box set, the comic box set one.
Agreed.
Gamora is a beautiful figure.
That's not a common Gamora, right? That's a SDCC exclusive, or what is that?
No, well, Gamora never got a single card release. She was in that Guardians box set. That was a Entertainment Earth exclusive.
Okay. Yeah, that's a nice looking figure. I don't have it.
This is the Entertainment Earth Star-Lord, Entertainment Earth Drax, Entertainment Earth Rocket Raccoon. For a while they went for at one point that whole box set was selling for $40 at one point. Now I'm not sure. It's probably up to $100 again. But when it came out,
I'm looking it up right now. So that Gamora figure, there's one that's selling for like $90.
Gamora by herself has always been expensive. For a while, Gamora was going for more than the box set itself was going for.
Oh wow, that's weird.
Like you buy the box set for $40, but you can buy Gamora for $60. And it's like we might as well buy the whole box set.
Is she a Moonstone body?
She's the Moonstone body, yeah.
Yeah, it looks better.
Yeah, there is no other body to use for Gamora, in my opinion. I mean, a lot of other characters, like, I agree that they should not be in the Moonstone body. They don't need to be in the Moonstone body. Like Scarlet Witch does not need to be in the Moonstone body. But someone like Gamora, something like Miss Marvel, those thicker girls, the ones that are really powerful, they have to be on the Moonstone body. They have to be. That right there.
That's a Leech Customs. That's a Leech Customs, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it looks like it worked.
Lee Aller. That is what's it called? Starhawk. Sylvester Stallone played him in the Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yeah, he just had like a cameo.
Yeah, but that's Starhawk. He's an amazing custom, really beautiful figure. And there's in the custom there, Advanced Astro, because the Advanced Astro we got was a little too big. But New Collector Customs made that one. So that's the Guardians of the Galaxy. On the back there is just Death's Head. He's not part of the Guardians of the Galaxy, but he's just kind of there.
Talk about the Galactus and his heralds, because you got a couple of his heralds there, or actually quite a few of his heralds.
Before that, pause. Nova. Nova is a really fantastic figure too.
It's a good looking figure. It's too bad they didn't do like a Nova Core. That would have been awesome.
I agree.
That would have been cool.
This might kind of sound blasphemous because it was such a big deal because people hated it with Cannonball. But I actually really want them to do a classic Nova with that Cannonball effect.
Just include the legs. That way people don't freak out.
Yeah, I want that Nova for my new Warriors. Okay, now Galactus and his heralds. I'll go to the herald first. There's the other Nova, Frankie Ray. That's the 90s figure, but she's like legend scale.
I saw her. I could have bought her for like $7 or $8 at a swap meet, and I was thinking, if anything, I can just use the head part and customize it. You know, update the body. But it's a good idea. I should have bought her. I passed on her, and I regret it.
Yeah, she's real cheap. If you can find her, she's real cheap. Real cheap. They got Build-A-Figure Terrax.
Should he be bigger than that?
No, I think he's about the right size. Maybe beefier, maybe like wider, but height-wise, he's the right size. Like maybe if they use the Rhino body for him, that would have been pretty cool. Like actually, if you had a Rhino, if the Rhino wasn't so expensive, I'd say use him for a custom and turn him into Terrax, but because it's kind of rocky, you know, but not like the Thing rocky, but
right,
you know. But
yeah, the texture that he has on the
the Rhino's expensive now,
and he costs like $60, $70.
He used to not be very desirable either. It's funny because this wave, the Return of Marvel Legends wave, this is what reinvigorated everyone into Marvel Legends again. 2012 was when he came out. And then Silver Surfer.
Nice pose.
Use the Select surfboard on him.
Yeah, so you got some magnets on his feet there.
Nope. No magnets. Those are pegs.
Oh, those
Select surfboard. Yeah. They're kind of long, so they kind of stick out a little bit, but I think it's great. And then the centerpiece of the cosmic shelf is Galactus.
I like the Toy Biz one, but I think this one's far superior.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, the size alone makes this figure better. When I was a little kid, I had the Toy Biz Galactus, and when I first joined the Marvel Legends groups on YouTube back in the day, I think I was like maybe 11 or 12. I heard rumors that there was going to be a newer, bigger Galactus coming out. So I immediately dropped my Toy Biz one. I got rid of it. And this came out like a year later. And it's just a fantastically beautiful figure. I love like Galactus is my grail. I don't use the word grail ever, but this is like the figure of my collection. There's no if I had to get rid of every figure, I'd keep Galactus.
Yeah, I have him too, and it's one of the better figures in my collection as well.
He's pretty pricey now. I'm sure he's going to get re-released, kind of like how they did the Sentinel. I'm pretty sure they're going to re-release him as well.
Yeah, and if they re-release him, he'll be like $150 if he comes in, depending on what he comes with.
Yeah, which would be funny. Which would be funny because this is that's what he's going for, basically $150. So.
Right. I'm trying to looking him up to see how much I paid for him. Yeah, I got him this year. I got him back in June, and I paid $140, and that was actually the lowest price that I've seen.
There's Captain Universe up there. Annihilus, which most people actually don't like this Annihilus figure, but I think he's really spot on to how he looked in the comics.
Yep.
He was the first Hasbro Build-A-Figure, and maybe that's why he had so much slack, because Hasbro sucked it in the beginning, but Annihilus was always a really great figure.
Those wings are awesome.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. I think he's pretty pricey now too, I believe.
Yep, I've looked into him recently. He goes for like $70.
Yeah, I think when I got him, he was like 30. Blastar, who's also $100 figure now.
And he's just what is that? The Hulk body? Is that a Hulk
he uses
body?
the Hulk from the first Avengers wave,
Right.
or the Ultimate Green Goblin body as well. If you're unaware, I actually hope they re-release him in a different costume. I would really prefer his classic costume. Maybe give him some effects for his hands.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But
I don't have that figure, just like I don't have those scrolls right next to him.
Yeah, I got the Marvel Select scroll there.
They're really nice.
And the Super Scroll from Hasbro, re-release of the Toy Biz one.
Man, I don't think that the new one that they're coming out with is going to be better than these. I think the faces on this is better than the new one that they announced, and it almost looks like they're using Dormammu's body, or I'm sorry, not Dormammu. Yeah, Dormammu. Looked like they're using.
The new one looks to me like it's using Hyperion parts. Hyperion legs and arms, at least, for sure. Man, I'm going to get that. I'm going to replace my Super Scroll with that new scroll. But these other ones are sticking around because these are regular scrolls. He'd be way too big to be a regular scroll. But I was never a big fan of the Super Scroll figure for some reason. I just never. I always thought it was kind of ugly looking, like not in a good way.
There's different versions of them too, though. You got like the invisible one, the one that has like the Fantastic Four powers. That's a really cool one, I think. The way it looks. Are you there? Or are you frozen? Uh-oh.
There we go.
You back?
Can you hear me? I think so.
There you go. You're back. We lost you
good.
early.
This is Impossible Man.
Yeah, Impy.
He's really. I think he's pretty hard to get. He's from the Fantastic Four Classics line.
Yeah, $40 to $50 for him.
Is he? Wow. He came with a Human Torch figure, I believe. But yeah, he's
the accessory.
Yeah, he's actually articulated too. But yeah, he's cool. There's the MCU figure for those who ask about MCU. There you go. There's the MCU shelf. Okay, I'm done. By the way, Brock, if you like this scroll, I mean, I'd give him to you.
Oh heck yeah! Let's work something out.
All right. Yeah, I was never a fan of this scroll, so if you want him, you can.
See, I prefer the look, like the faces. To me, I just read through this storyline about a month ago, and these things are on the money. I like the look, and they're hard to come by. Like those Marvel Select ones, they go for a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm not getting rid of my select. I had 6 select ones at one point, and well, you know what happened to them. Don't have them no more. But
yeah.
But I want to get
that one's going to follow you. That story's going to follow you all throughout your YouTube life here.
Yeah, I want to replace them. I want to eventually, but they're pricey. I only had 6 because I found them for cheap at like thrift stores and garage sales and cheap comic book shops that didn't know what they had. But yeah, these guys.
Shout out to Kent Pool Live. He's a fellow Marvel Legend. He collects a bunch of other things, but he does have a show that he features Marvel Legends on Sundays that I sometimes pop in and out. You guys should go check out his channel. He likes MCU. Joey, what do you say? He likes MCU though.
Oh, I mean that's good for him, but you can take all of them except for this one until they make a comic one. And you can have it, okay? This is the Magus. I really want an updated classic Adam Warlock. And a classic Magus would be cool too, but. And then here you go into the Kree. Oh, actually, let's go to the Watcher.
Yeah, why haven't they just re-released this guy? Come on.
I don't know, to be honest. I think it had something to do with the Fantastic Four for a long time. Now I'm not so sure.
He is so expensive to get.
Him and Mephisto are the only two selects that have never been re-released, as far as I'm aware of. That's why they're so pricey.
Yeah, I think he goes for. I think he goes for like Galactus prices, just to give you an idea.
I got him for $75, which was a steal for me.
Yeah, but even $75, I understand why you're paying. I mean, that is cheap for him, but $75 for a $20 figure, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's hard. That's difficult to swallow. But it is a really impressive looking figure. I mean, look at the paint on that thing
I know.
Compared to just a regular release.
And you don't need super articulation with the Watcher either, you know. One thing I do wish he had though was I wish he had articulated ankles. His ankles are like not static; they have no articulation on them, and he sucks to stand without a base.
Oh, that's a problem.
With that big head and that big cape, he's not standing very well.
Does he have foot pegs?
He has peg holes, yeah. And he comes with a base. I didn't get a base with him. I have him on a Terrax base. Not a Terrax base, a Select Thor base. I have Terrax on that base too. I got a couple of those Thors just for those meteor bases. Yeah.
Hey, can you swing back to your left? Can you swing back to your left? This character, that one right there, the green one. What's his name? He's a basic.
Genus Vel.
I'm sorry?
Genus Vel?
Oh, he's Genus Vel. I thought this guy was a soldier that you could army build.
Oh no.
So he's I know who Genus Vel is, but as far as like the Toy Biz ones, I know that their version went for a lot of money, right? Or am I getting the characters confused?
There you go. You get the right character. I actually, he was on my Thunderbolts shelf earlier. And he fell behind Man-Thing, so I just got him out.
Oh, there you go.
This figure's horrible too. Really wish they got an update of him on this, you know, instead of that. But this is a cool figure too. I mean, this is his Kree look. This is his hero / Thunderbolts look. Right. He was in Thunderbolts for a while because he went crazy, became a bad guy. So,
but he was a Skrull during that, wasn't he?
I might have been. I believe so. I'm not 100% sure.
I think he was a Skrull, but he ended up being he revolted. Oh my gosh, words are difficult sometimes. But he went against the Skrulls at the very end, if I'm remembering correctly, which I may not be. What about that Kree? What do you call a Sentinel? That Kree Sentinel? I gotta tell you, as a figure, when I see it, I did not want it. I don't want that figure at all. But I think it's pretty accurate, right?
It's pretty accurate, except for the size. He should definitely be bigger. I have mine standing on his tiptoes to make him taller. I agree. I've got 5 VF. I agree. Yeah. He should be, you know, probably like this tall, you know. But yeah, Kent Pool. I had the Kree Skrull 2-pack back in the day. I traded my Kree to somebody for something. I don't remember what it was, and that 2-pack. I wish they'd do an update of that 2-pack with modern figures, a modern Skrull, like a smaller Skrull, like one of these looking guys, and a normal Kree in a 2-pack, like kind of like the Hydra set. That'd be amazing. I wish they would do that. But yeah, the Kree Sentry, I like him. I think he might be my second favorite Build-A-Figure of the year.
Really?
Yeah. It goes Kingpin, Kree Sentry, Caliban, Wendigo. And I think that's all the comic Build-A-Figures we had this year.
Huh.
So, and then I can't believe we still only have Medusa and Black Bolt for the Inhumans.
Yeah, they should have given us Gargan.
Gorgon, yeah, Gorgon,
Gargan.
Triton, Gorgon, Triton, Karnak, Crystal.
I'd be in for that.
How have you not gotten Crystal? She's easy. She's simple.
Well, I think the MCU is coming out, or I thought they were coming out with a something happened that their Inhumans didn't do well, or something. I'm not sure what happened. Did they actually come out with MCU?
Inhumans, yeah, they had that TV show, and it was terrible.
Yeah, right.
And it was a very expensive TV show, and it was terrible. And I watched the first 2 episodes and just never watched it again because it was terrible. Black Bolt, he screamed in that first episode, and he barely flipped over a car.
Oh, jeez. Whoops.
I'm like,
well, but he may be too powerful for the MCU, though. Right?
Yeah.
With his power, just be too much.
Yeah, I just wish we had more Inhumans for my display here.
Speaking of Black Bolt, I think that's the exclusive one, right?
No, this one is the Black Panther wave one. The exclusive one I have up here.
Oh, okay. I'm surprised you don't have the screaming head. You didn't like it?
Well, I like the screaming head, but I don't have him destroying my whole shelf here. So
nice. See, the paint on that looks like it's interesting. It looks good.
I think it's just a shadowing. He's pretty blue if you but it's kind of hard to tell in this kind of lighting here. This Ronin custom, made by Michael Kern. He actually fell off the shelf, so he has these. He had these things sculpted on his shoulders here. They fell off because he fell. He didn't actually fall. I would say Galactus one day decided he wants to just kill himself, so he just jumped off the shelf and knocked everybody in front of him down. And Ronin happened to be, yeah. So yeah,
battle damage now.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna repaint this green. I don't need the rivets on there anymore. But yeah, Ronin the Accuser. I think he's a great looking custom there.
What do you think of that Medusa figure? I saw her in person and I ended up passing on her. I didn't really care much for the face.
Yeah, my biggest problem is her hair is not very dynamic. You know,
right.
You can't do anything with her except for this.
Right.
Other than that, I mean, she looks like Medusa.
Yeah.
But she just, I don't know.
I see some customizers, and it may be Lee Aller. I could be wrong, but I think it's him.
I think I've seen it too. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he did. Like I almost made her hair be a stand, and then she floats, like her body floats with the hairpiece.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. And so, what do you think about this Ronin custom? I know I showed it to you before.
Yeah, I think that's a great body for him. I don't. Is that the Hulk head that he's using underneath there?
Yeah, it's a red Hulk head.
Yeah, that's for me. The red Hulk or the Hulk face kind of bothers me for Ronin. Other than that, I like the rest of it. And I'm not talking about his work. I'm just talking about the actual like sculpt.
Yeah.
Like, there's something about that kind of bothers my sensibilities on it.
Yeah.
But the body, like all the other stuff. Who did he use? Is that a Dormammu? Is that the skirt?
No, the skirt is from Galactus, Toy Biz Galactus.
Oh wow. Oh, so he's huge. Yeah. Now I see it.
He had to cut it and modify it to make it, fit him. But yeah, it's a Toy Biz Galactus, and body is Onslaught.
Onslaught. Ah, okay. I see it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like his presence on the shelf.
Yeah, because I don't have Thanos on the shelf anywhere, so Ronin is my big bad in the center on the shelf for now. Because I hate the Marvel Legends Thanos because he's modern looking and I don't like that look. So I'm getting a custom made of a classic Thanos. getting worked on by, I think.
I know mine offended you. He was too big, but but I am planning on doing another one, and I think I'm going to use the Caliban body.
Caliban body would be perfect.
What's that?
Yeah, the Caliban body would be perfect. I think. We were using Titus for mine.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Glenn's making it. Glenn or Kern, I can't remember now, but one of them is making it. Because
how many customs do you have outsourced right now?
A lot. Probably like 18.
Are you going to go have your blood to get these made, or what?
Well, I trade for a lot of them, so I buy lots of figures, so I trade some of the figures that they want for customs, stuff like that.
That's smart.
So that's the last of the villain shelves.
Man, that was good. That was awesome. So I would tell you from that last shelf, the Galactus is the must-have figure on that shelf, right?
Forgot to do that. Yeah, Galactus must-have. Silver Surfer is a must-have.
You can still get Silver Surfer for just a little bit above retail. He's starting to get expensive.
Yeah, and then I'd say Nova is another must-have.
Yeah, that's a nice figure. I noticed you don't have a Kid Nova.
Oh no, I do not. Nor do I desire one.
What's wrong with Sam Alexander, man?
He's again. I think I mentioned it last time. I don't collect characters that are like, I don't collect modern characters. So there's no Sam Alexander.
Let me tell you though, he's in a really great storyline with the Watcher, where the Watcher is murdered.
I'm not a big fan of that Watcher murdered storyline.
No. Oh man, I noticed that you don't have a Jocasta anywhere either. I know we're done with the villains, but
yeah. Well, there's no Jocasta figure.
I just saw Face Customs make one, and it is unbelievable.
I saw it in your last video. I want a Jocasta, but we don't have a Jocasta, so there's no Jocasta anywhere.
I'm sure that's one that they could easily do too.
Oh yeah, for sure. And she'd go here with my Avengers. That's where I'd put her at.
Yeah.
If I see her. I briefly went over these earlier, but there's my Fantastic Four, and there's the street level heroes.
Well, Joey, now that we kind of finished the heroes and the villains, why can't I was initially going to keep these to like an hour, but since YouTube is killing my channel and other channels, who cares? Why don't we turn it on over to the chat and see if they have any questions about your figures, or we can just chat Marvel Legends in general.
Okay,
we do have 35 people on a Saturday night at 8:15 Pacific Standard Time. Who knows? Those desperados had an early night in and are here in the chat with us. So shoot your questions right now. Time to ask. Joy, thanks again for sharing your collection. It's very awesome looking. And you need to get some LED lights, okay? LED lights.
I know. I definitely need some lights. And collection's nicer looking than it was last time. I cleaned it up.
You did? You did. Your room actually looked a lot better put together. There must be a lady in the picture, because otherwise I don't think it'd be that clean. So Chris Jordan says no Ego.
Well, there is no comic Ego figure. The only reason I have a Nebula MCU figure is because she looks like that in the comics from time to time. But Ego doesn't look like what's the actor's name? Kurt Russell.
Right. Yeah. Right.
So the no Ego. I would love to have. Who did that? I think Mark DeRosa. What's his YouTube? Dope Toys New York, I think.
Yeah. Doodog also has one. Those are the two people that I know have an Ego that I've seen.
Yeah, those look incredible. I would love to have something like that. Until then, no Ego.
All right. So you've been watching a lot of Disney Plus, and you watched the X-Men already. What about a Nimrod? Brian Rivera wants to see a great Nimrod, both versions.
It's ridiculous that we have not gotten a Nimrod yet. I don't understand how we have not gotten a Nimrod.
Yeah.
When we do get a Nimrod, I'm gonna have to redo my X-Men shelf again, because this X-Men villain shelf, because that's the X-Men villain shelf. I mentioned it earlier. This shelf and this shelf are my two least favorite shelves to redo. They're because there's so many figures, and it takes so long to redo those.
I almost feel like you need, and I'm using the word feel a lot. I'm not a really feely, touchy guy, so I apologize for using the word feel. But it looks like you could use like another 3 large shelves for your teams.
What I really want to do is, I don't know if you remember back in the day, I don't know if you were following me then, when I had that super long shelf.
Yep.
I want to do that again. I liked that a lot.
It's I think it's a better way to display them. Like, what's Mike Garcia? What's his name? What's his YouTube? You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. Mike the Hunter.
Mike the Hunter. So he's got his displays look really, really nice, and his display, in my opinion, for like Marvel Legends, is one of the nicer. I know he's an MCU guy. We wouldn't really be appreciative of that type of figure, but the way his displays look so clean with the lights, that's the way to do it.
Yeah. I'm saying I loved that. My old shelf, it was 25 feet long.
Oh man!
And figures covered every single inch of it, and my whole plan was just to get that and just expand it, go all the way around the room with it, and don't live there anymore. Don't have that much space anymore. It isn't my house. I can't do that. So you
can't put those floating.
So for now, it's this.
Shelves? It's a floating shelf. I think that's what it is. Oh, Joey's frozen right now. He'll come back in. So Nimrod, and we'll wait until Joey jumps in to get into this discussion. Nimrod is an X-Men villain. He's like a future Sentinel. He's like the Sentinel that's, as I understand it, that has progressed. Let me remove him from the stream and see if that helps him. There we go. Now he's back. Seeing if he's in there. All right, you're back. We're talking about Nimrod.
Oh yeah, so Nimrod, yeah, I really do. I prefer to have that white costume, or the pinkish white colored Nimrod. I like to have that one. It would go good next to Bastion. That Bastion custom that I have would go good next to him.
So Nimrod, what size, like build a figure wise, what body could they use, or would they have to go back and redo like a mold, like a brand new mold, or could they use something already standing?
I think they could use the Ironmonger body pretty easily. Maybe even the Kree Century parts in the Kree Century, maybe. Just retool a little bit, but one of those would work pretty good for Nimrod. I think he's not that huge of a character. He's big, but he's not giant.
Can you talk about his history, because there's some people in the chat that don't know who he is?
Well, basically, Nimrod is he's basically the ultimate Sentinel to be. He's a Sentinel from the future. He's basically unstoppable, pretty much. It's basically all you really need to know about Nimrod. He doesn't have a big, huge backstory. He doesn't have a huge, he's a Sentinel, and he's the ultimate scary Sentinel. He fights Cable a lot and Bishop because they're time travelers. He's from the future. Yeah, that's all I don't know a ton about Nimrod, but I do know that, and he's,
that's pretty much what I know about him. He's like an advanced form of Sentinel, or like the superior form of
and when he does get destroyed, he can rebuild himself, and it's like,
Brian,
would be cool.
But that would have to be huge, because Master Mold, I don't know if they could do it, or maybe they would do like half of him. I don't know if they would ever consider doing parts of figures, or maybe that's when they do like when they did the barge. you know, they just did the barge, those projects that
Yeah.
cost, you know, $500-$600. I just don't know
Yeah,
like how many people would really want that big of, I mean, if room and money wasn't an object, we would all want it, but is that what we would want instead of maybe like the Avenger jet? Not the Avenger jet, the X-Men jet, what's it called?
the Blackbird.
Yeah, the Blackbird, and have like a scale Blackbird. Like, what would people want?
I'll tell you this: I would not get a Blackbird. I would not get a Quinjet. I probably wouldn't even get Master Mold. I mean, Master Mold will be awesome to have, but not a huge necessity. Now, I would pay HasLab for an Ego or a Giant Galactus or a Living Tribunal that's like 4 feet tall, something like that. I'd be totally for HasLab to do, but
I don't know if I would want them to do the Living Tribunal, because I don't think that would be that. Like, we can make that right now, because it's not super intricate. I think I'd want, like what you just said, like Ego or a Galactus. I love my Marvel Universe Galactus. I don't know but man, yeah.
Or maybe a HasLab's accurately scaled Fin Fang Foom.
Oh, dude, that would be awesome. But again, is Fin Fang Foom really that popular of a character? I mean, I know we know it, but other than like I've read a ton of comics, and I haven't read a ton of Fantastic Four comics, so maybe that's why I'm not super familiar with him. But
yeah, well, Foom makes a lot more appearances in Iron Man. Lots of Iron Man stuff.
Okay.
He's an alien dragon from the planet Maklu 4.
Right.
The Makulon power rings that Mandarin wears, those are from Fin Fang Foom's ship.
That who wears them?
The Mandarin.
Oh, the Mandarin.
The 10 Makulon power rings that Mandarin wears, those are from Fin Fang Foom's ship.
So Nightwalker says Nimrod isn't in his Marvel Encyclopedia.
It's weird. Those Marvel Encyclopedias are Tusk, Cyber, Belladonna. Those would all be really cool. I would love all those. Chris, Jordan. I would love to have all of those. Well, same about the Marvel Encyclopedia. It's weird because there's always characters missing. I know on my copy, it has 2 members of the Wrecking Crew in it, but it's missing the other 2. I think it has Wrecker and Bulldozer, but no Thunderball Power Driver. It's like strange.
So Cyber, we're talking about the Wolverine guy, right? Wolverine.
Yeah.
So I plan on making him, and I have enough to make 2. And I typically don't sell my custom, but when I eventually make him, I'm gonna make 2, and I'm gonna sell 1. I don't know. I don't think he's that popular of a guy, so it's not like people are gonna be wanting a Cyber, but
I do. Put me on that list.
Hey, maybe we can make a deal, player.
I'll trade you that Super Scroll for it.
Yeah. Nice. Who's Exodus? I know who the Beyonder is, but I'm not.
Exodus. He is one of the externals, not Eternals. Externals. Externals are basically immortal mutants. So
is Gideon an external?
Gideon's an external. A couple of the Hellfire Club members, I think Selene is an external. Basically, if you're an immortal mutant, you're an external. But Exodus, I know he was a really big part of the Magneto acolytes back in the 90s. I think he's a big part of that.
So
I know he used to fight Black Knight. He used to fight one of the Black Knights back in the medieval times too. I know that. Him and Selene.
Arthur's just asking about what's the big Sentinel. That's who we were talking about, Master Mold. He's the one that makes the other ones. Let me see. Any other questions in the chat? 32 of you are still up in here. And hey, typically these shows wouldn't last this long, but January 1st is coming soon. We're going to have our talks now. Although I think eventually if we wanted to do something like this on Facebook, we can definitely do it. And I
Oh
think
yeah.
StreamYard actually will do will cast it on Facebook as well.
Yeah, and I'm actually today I posted my very last YouTube video. So
And are you sure you're just going to dump it without waiting, or what are your thoughts on the whole COPPA thing?
well, I'm not, I don't have a big following on YouTube anyways, so it's not like that big of a loss. I mostly just like YouTube because it's really easy to, it's real easy to post stuff. It's real easy to, add to watch later, all your videos you want to watch, but now everyone's all separating, people on Vimeo, people on Daily Motion, people on Patreon. It makes it a lot more difficult to watch videos, and everyone's on Facebook, or most people are on Facebook. Most of my people who know me, they're on Facebook. So I'm like, well, I might as well just create a Facebook page and post my stuff on there. So that's why today was the first time and only time that I posted my video to YouTube and Facebook. Last time for YouTube, first time for Facebook. And then I'm moving all my other content. I'm going to go re-edit my old videos and post them on the Facebook as well.
So Fig Life says Joey's memory is insane about Marvel characters, and I can't even remember where I put down my beer. Well, Joey's one of two guys that I go to for when I'm thinking of making a custom and I need an idea for what body parts to use or what characters have used the same body parts, because it's useful to know that, because if you can find, like, for example, if I needed a Grim Reaper body, but the Grim Reaper, for this is hypothetically, would cost $50, and I don't want to spend $50 on a figure that I'm gonna Frankenstein. I'd ask him, hey, what other figures use the Grim Reaper mold? And he's got it in his database. The other dude is Aiden. He goes by Ace Outlaw Customs. He's around the same age as Joey. So all these young minds, they just absorb information. I don't know how useful to me information, but maybe that'll be helpful to you. It's definitely helpful for you in your dinosaur stuff, since that's what you want.
Yeah, there's a couple months ago, there's this person on Marvel Legends community who asked some question about who said, we need a database that has all the Marvel Legends body molds and people and list the characters listed for every body mold or whatever. I'm like, oh, well, I'm not a database, but here it is. I spent like 2 hours just typing this list up of every figure that used body molds that were reused. If it wasn't reused, I didn't list it on there, but like, I had the Grim Reaper mold, I had Red Guardian, I had Captain America, I had all these other, etc. I'm not going to list them all right now, but it was crazy.
I think I commented in that thread. I know exactly which one you're talking about. That was pretty darn impressive.
I went all the way back to Toy Biz days.
So Arthur, I mean, I remember when I had 36 subs, and now I think I'm getting closer to, I can't remember if it's 8,000 or 9,000, which is still like infinitesimal in YouTube world, but it's a lot for somebody that's doing it for a hobby. It kind of stinks that I'm gonna lose the I guess the fan base, because it won't transfer over to Facebook or wherever I end up doing, if I end up doing it at all. Because I got to be honest with you, like with this whole you can get fined, penalized with something that you're not even intending to do. It's a real bummer, and I'm really not willing to do it. So it's killed my desire to even do a This Week in Customs. I really love doing that show, but the last couple of weeks I've been like, man, I don't even feel like doing this anymore, because I don't even want to take a chance. It's like messing with my creative, my creativity. That's the best way I can put it. So we'll see what happens. I think that's going to be December 10th, when that's the last opportunity that people can make comments to the FTC, and we'll see if they amend that. And if they don't amend it, you're going to see an exodus of a lot of creators from YouTube, and they're going to be going over other platforms. The problem I see with a platform like Vimeo is that the creators have to pay money to be on that platform, and you're not really generating any ad revenue. So a lot of people are asking their subscribers to pay. That may happen initially for some of these guys, but my thought on that is that it's not going to be sustainable. And even guys like, for example, like Shartimus Prime, who's one of the guys who's going to be biggest affected from our community. If he has to move over to Vimeo, I think he will have the most chance of being supported by his fans because he's got, 600,000 subscribers. But I just don't see it being sustainable because, like, for example, us here, we follow, I don't know how many you guys follow, but I'm going to guess 20, 30 people, and you enjoy their content. Let's say you really enjoy 5. Could you imagine paying $10 a month for 5 of those channels? That's $50 a month. That's not going to happen, in my opinion. I don't think that'll happen. What are your thoughts, Joey?
Well, I agree. I love YouTube, and I love watching action figure videos. And I do follow 2 people on Patreon, Shartimus Prime and the Foosh, and I'm paying a total of $7 a month for just those 2, and it's like, is it worth it? I mean, I want to say yes, but not really, because it's just content that I was already see. It's a little bit extra stuff. You see the behind the scenes stuff like that.
Right.
But when I'm really here for the action figure reviews, the funny content, but I was already getting that, and now I gotta pay to see it. Or the Foosh, for example, he posted on Patreon first, and then a couple days later he posted on Vimeo and Daily Motion and stuff. But those other apps are just not as friendly as YouTube. I can't just, if I'm at work and I see it posted and I want to watch it, don't watch YouTube at work. but yeah, I watch YouTube videos at work.
I'm watching the show right now, so you don't have to worry about it. Yeah, but
yeah, I watch YouTube. I watch YouTube videos at work. What?
Well, I was going to say YouTube has what makes it good for a creator, a content creator, is that they can earn, for example, earn a living based on the ads that they're bringing, and the people are giving their time. That's how, for example, as a follower of what you name whatever YouTube channel, that's how I essentially contribute, is by watching, right? Because ad revenue that I'm generating as a fan, because they're trying to target me, and the ads trying to target you. Now, when you go to Vimeo, that's not the case anymore. At least right now, it isn't. When you go to Daily Motions, it's not the same, and you're not going to have a giant platform like YouTube that has, I don't know, I mean, it has 26 million YouTube channels, exponentially more viewers and views a day. I think they're watching, I don't know how many, I think it's billions of views a day that YouTube generates. So the ad revenue is there. But this whole decision is going to affect a ton of creators, and it's not just going to be toy.
It's not just action figures either. It's people who like dinosaurs, people who like video games.
All those people.
Are like people who do dinosaur documentaries, right? Little kids love dinosaurs. There's big words in those documentaries that the kids are not going to understand, but kids still love dinosaurs. Is it targeted towards kids? Probably not really, but
right. But the way that YouTube has at least put it, and some of you that don't know, they've given us 2 chances we have to self-identify. We have to identify as our content being made for kids or not made for kids. There isn't an in-between, because first of all, I'm not making content for kids. I'm not, like, when I'm putting a This Week in Customs, I'm not thinking, I'm trying to reach the 5-year-old. That's not who I want to be conversing with. I want to be conversing people closer to my age, and the content, even the words and the language that I use in my channel, are for older people. But because I try to make the content family friendly, so like if you're a father and you happen to be watching a show like This Week in Customs, you're not going to hear any foul language. You're not going to hear any topic that would be considered inappropriate in a family setting. So my channel is definitely family friendly, and I want to keep it that way, and I'm not going to change it from that way. But they only give me 2 options to either identify as made for kids or not made for kids. So what my channel doesn't fall into one of those categories. It falls into a different category, which they don't give me the option to pick.
And if they deem it as being for kids, if you put it as not for kids, you can get in trouble for that. So,
right. Fig Life says, my channel is purely only for kids. Yeah, his channel is absolutely not for kids. However, because you're talking about toys,
it could be for children.
You're going to be on their radar, potentially on their radar. That's what their language is so broad, meaning it includes a lot in that it's either toys or characters that appeal to kids. So even though you say and do just the craziness on your channel, the fact that you're talking about a Captain America toy or pop or whatever, that can potentially put you in violation regardless of whatever language you're putting. So me cursing on my video doesn't exclude me from that criteria because it could appeal to kids. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so luckily for me, I have a much bigger following on Facebook anyways, so that's why I'm just moving myself to Facebook. But it does suck. Again, that's what I was trying to say. Like I've watched the Fuchsia's videos on Vimeo, and if I'm watching something at work and I pause it and can try to come back to it when there's no customers around or whatever, Vimeo sucks at that. I have to restart the whole video every time I pause it. Every time I close the screen, and I don't. It's not as user friendly. It's not. I even downloaded the Vimeo app, try to do it on there. It just doesn't work. It's not as easy.
Let's get to a Marvel Legend. There was somebody that asked about Marvel Legends. Nightwalker asked, "What do you all think of the new Legends coming out next year? I think we have another wave coming at the end of this year, don't we?
The Fantastic Four wave might hit before the end of the year.
Right.
Of that wave, there's 2 good figures in that wave.
Which ones?
Well, I'm sure you know. Well, we talked about both of them earlier.
The Skrull,
and Doom.
Yeah.
That She-Hulk is a big pass for me. Those Fantastic Four costumes are all big passes for me. Actually, I might get the Thing because I can use another Thing figure. But
just put another one on there. I had 2, and I had one, and I sold it to Nate Simmons because he hadn't gotten one for retail. That Thing figure is going for a lot of money right now. It's one of the best Marvel Legends that they've made, but it's crazy to pay more than retail for some of these figures. I just can't do it. So, and to be Joey, I think Joey's frozen. In the meantime, and to be me snob says fines are based on how much revenue you make off that particular video. We just don't know. We don't know if that's how it. I know it's up to $42,000, but it could be. I mean, I don't know of any ticket, for example. Just looking at how the federal government works and even how city governments work, you get a citation. Let's say you're driving and a cop gives you a speeding ticket. Even if you're only going 5 miles an hour the speed limit or 15 miles an hour the speed limit, it's still going to cost you $350. So if I made $15 on a video and then my fine, there's no way the fine's going to be less than that. It's not going to be $3 or $5. It's probably going to be $300, $1,000, $1,500. That's how I feel. I believe that's how it's going to be. There's not enough definition on how that's going to work out for me to be comfortable to say, well, if I'm making $15 a video, and that's a channel my size or somebody like Shardamus who can make hundreds of dollars a video on depending on how many views or whatever, or how many watch minutes that he has, then he's going to get fined. He makes $500 in a video and then he gets fined $350. That's like why we doing this video. And then that's the first violation. We don't know if it's going to be then the second violation. But the problem is we just don't know. Like, I don't know if my channel is violating it. I don't make content for kids, but I'm not the one that's determining ultimately if my stuff, my content is going to be considered made for kids. And, if I didn't label it that way, then I'm jacked. They're going to fine me with whatever money they're gonna find me.
If I got fined even $1, I'd
Right.
I'd be mad.
Too.
I don't make any money off of YouTube. So, I just post for fun. And lucky for me, I have a big fan base on Facebook. So that's only, not fan base, but I have a lot of friends. People know me on Facebook. So that's, Life with Brock isn't very huge on Facebook, but it is bigger on Instagram. So maybe,
Well, I haven't really tried to gain. I didn't even know the other day until somebody I checked. I don't know how many numbers. I haven't tried to increase my numbers on Facebook. I probably have more friends than followers of Life with Brock on my page. The problem with all that stuff is it's not as, like what Joey was saying, it's not as user friendly. Like YouTube's a great platform for what we're doing. YouTube not only provides the platform, all the it's searchable and all this stuff, but it's also has the like how many people are coming to watch, and then they push out your videos. And with any content creator, even if you're doing it for a hobby like me, if you ask me, well, do you just want 200 views or do you want 100,000 views? I'll tell you 100,000 views 10 out of 10 times, right? I'm never going to say 200 views, right? We always want, if I make a custom, and first of all, I don't sell my customs, but I make my customs and I'm putting it on here. I want as many people to see that as possible. That's part of it for me. This is not my living, thankfully, but there's people that are really going to be affected by this. That this is their income. This is how they structure their life. This is what they've invested. This is like somebody that works for Disney has gained a seniority and they're the highest paying level of the company, and then they lay them off. This is exactly what they're doing. They're laying off all these people that are making their living on here. And I'm not laughing at it. This is just like an uncomfortable laugh. Like and YouTube as a platform is washing their hands of it because they've already gotten sued. And the next time that they have to pay out is probably going to be an astronomical figure. Because if you really think the $150 million or whatever they had to pay really affected Google that much, it probably it was a little slap in the hand. But next fine is probably going to be astronomical. And now they're just washing their hands of all the people that have helped build their platform. That's what's crazy. So whatever. I'm thankful that I'm making my living on YouTube, but I'm very, very sad for the people that have dedicated over a decade of their life, and now they're potentially losing their revenue stream where they feed their families. Pretty bad. So Fig Life says it's going to affect really big YouTubers. Yeah, as far as content, but small YouTubers like me, there's people that enjoy it. I've had people tell me that their favorite show to watch is This Week in Customs. Out of all YouTube shows available, that's very flattering to me. But it's going to affect those people that like that show. That's their favorite thing. That it's going to be gone. I like watching the Foosh. They're gone. They're gone. All the people that review the toys are going to be gone. Potentially gone. I don't know if this is what's going to happen, but
my favorite show to watch every week was This Week in Customs, and
thank you.
And that's one of there's a lot of other shows I really enjoy. I love watching reviews and stuff, but This Week in Customs and then the Foosh's weeklies, my two favorite action figure things to watch.
Yeah, it's very good.
Now the weeklies, I have to watch them on Vimeo or Patreon, and it sucks because my bigger thing is I watch so many YouTube channels that in the morning I wake up and go add to watch later, add to watch later, add to watch later, add to watch later. But now if everyone's on different websites, I can't just watch them all at once. I can't put it on my TV and just sit and watch them all for hours. Right. Now I gotta go check Facebook, see if Jimmy posted it on Facebook. No, he didn't. Okay, now I go to Vimeo and see if Foosh posted on it's.
I think people that like what we enjoy, the action figure collecting and all that stuff, it's going to change the way we look at YouTube, because I'm with you. For the longest time, YouTube has become my entertainment, right? Because I'll watch a lot of these channels too. And then I watch a lot of MMA stuff, mixed martial arts stuff. That's what, my main thing on YouTube. But it may change. I potentially it will change, because I'll tell you what, I'm most likely not gonna go. First of all, I won't be paying money to watch content. I pay with my time. I'm not gonna pay money. I'm gonna spend my money on Disney Plus, right? I'm not gonna spend my money even to watch my favorite things on YouTube. I'm not gonna do it. I rather, I just bought the Disney Plus bundle. I get ESPN Plus and Hulu for, what is it, $11.99 or $12.99. I get those 3 channels. Come on, player. I have enough content to be entertained there. So I won't be patronizing YouTube if all these toy channels leave. It'll be gone. I'll be done. YouTube.
I've been hearing rumblings of a toy tuber streaming service popping up.
Come on. I mean, good for them if people can pull it off. Let's say all the biggest names in YouTube get together, and let's say there's 10 or 15 of them, and they charge, I don't know. I just don't think it's sustainable. In my mind, I don't think, but who knows? Who knows what the future goes? If YouTube dies, these guys have to do something. Maybe they'll. Where's Toy Galaxy gonna go? Right? Those guys jumped in the scene, like, I don't know, maybe a couple years ago or whatever, and they've grown huge. They're getting big. Their production is really well. They do really well. Where are they gonna go? I can see, some main guys getting together. But as far as a paid service, I don't think I would. I personally wouldn't.
And for how many, for something like that, it's going to be expensive. It's going to be more pricey for a streaming service for that, because it's it's not a big. It's, how do I explain it? Because it's individuals making it. They need to get paid more for their content than something like Netflix, $10 a month, something like that. It's not gonna. It's gonna be probably like $15 a month for something, to fund something like that, so they can all evenly get paid for what they're doing. And I wouldn't pay $15 a month for it. I would not. So.
No, but you support a couple of people on Patreon, and I can see that initially, especially with the emotion, because people that are, I think there's people that watch me, for instance, that feel like they know me after watching me for 3 years, and lately I've been doing This Week in Customs. They just hear my voice. I'm not really interacting. When I first got on scene, I was doing toy hunting videos with my family. I'm sure those would get flagged for sure now, even though they're older. My girls are older now, but I think so. There's that initial, so you get connected with the people you watch. So I understand that, because I watch people on a regular basis, and I feel like I'll know them, right? And maybe I've even talked to them on the side. And I think, and we'll use large YouTubers because they really have the large following. I think a little bit of a small percentage, as you say, will follow them over and may contribute initially, whatever money that is. But I think as the time goes on, I think there will be less and less that passionate feeling of helping somebody that you're attached to will go away. Just like with something happens in the community, somebody gets sick, people are willing to do it, the first couple of weeks, and then what happens, the months are going. I just don't think that's in my mind, a sustainable business practice. They're going to have to do something else when they jump. So there may be something that right now we don't even know about that's going to happen in the future. Maybe they will come out with a toy tuber, and we think it's funny now, but we don't know the future. Maybe they turn that into actual programming. Like I can see a group like Toy Galaxy do it, because they do have a background in production, obviously in writing, because they do script all what they're saying. So I can see them being having an opportunity to succeed off the YouTube platform. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I really don't know. Interesting times.
I know what you're saying, because I've been a Patreon for Shartimus for maybe a year now, and with this whole YouTube thing, his Patreon members jumped up a lot,
right?
And the Fooshes too. The Foosh, I mean, Sharmus has like, I think the Foosh is like 75,000 followers. Sharmus is like almost 600,000. The Foosh has almost as many followers on Patreon as Sharmus Prime does, and it's because everyone because he left completely. So everyone, not everyone, but a lot of the people went over to follow his content.
Do you know how many Patreons he ended up getting?
Last time I checked, it was like they both have like 230. That's it.
230, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not 230, not 230,000.
No, so, yeah, 230 approximately, yeah.
So that's definitely going to help them, and I'm sure they're appreciative of that, but it's not going to sustain them over.
Oh yeah, especially because people are gonna jump off when the like you were saying,
or something happens in their life and they can't pay, they can't, whatever, however much money it is, $3, $5, they have to put it on something else. I think initially they're going to get Patreons, but I think the longer it goes, the less they'll have, because they won't have YouTube's a huge benefit, because they're gaining followers on a weekly basis, because because it's got such a humongous audience that your content gets pushed and gets seen by other people. Like I've come to know, recently I started watching AEW. I don't know if you're a fan of wrestling or not, but so I started watching AEW, and I just happened to look up this one character. He's like a sloth character. He's really funny. Orange. Shoot, I can't remember the guy's name. Orange something or other. Really funny. What's that?
I like Luchasaurus.
Luchasaurus. Okay, so that guy, he'd be a good figure. But so I've been exposed now because I watched it. Now YouTube's algorithm is caught, and they're pushing other like wrestling channels. So I've clicked on them. When they move to Patreon or when they move to Vimeo, that's gone. They don't have that same ability to generate. It's kind of like a fire. Here, YouTube helps, they throw the next log on, right? And it burns and it burns, and they throw another log on. Sometimes it's like it's a huge bonfire because, one of your videos takes off, and then all of a sudden,
that's what got them in trouble, because they were doing that for children.
Orange Cassidy, Chris Jordan for the win on that one.
That was what YouTube's problem was too, because they ended up, they were taking that information from children to promote videos to them, promote ads to them, and that's what getting them in trouble in the long run is that kind of stuff. But that stuff's good for people like us, adults, if we want to watch more stuff. But
right.
But that's what ended up getting YouTube in trouble, is that exact thing that they do that we all enjoy.
Well, they collect the data on kids under the age of 13, and they should have been doing that. They should, but that was a big money maker for them. That's how they generated millions of dollars, I'm sure, in advertising, because they were collecting data. Even though as a platform, you can't have an account until you're the age of 13. So it's super bizarre. They took it, but again, I understand why COPA is to protect children, but there's flaws, and all these videos have pointed out all these flaws. Is not original ideas to me, but it's common sense, right? First of all, like all my children don't fit into they're all over the age of 13 now. But when they were under the age of 13, I'm fine with them getting ads that are appropriate to them, which is essentially what YouTube was doing. Age appropriate ads, right? Targeting kids. Right. I'm fine with them getting an ad. Ultimately, I'm the parent that I'm responsible for what they're watching. And because we live in a state where it's, blame other people and whatever, I don't want the government parenting my kid. I don't need the government parenting my kid, but there's some parents that need the government parenting their kids. So that's why, COPA exists. But let's see if we get, let's get back to Marvel Legends. Let's not talk about sad things. And it was Kentpool Live that came in with the Orange Cassidy. That character, man, I don't know. Again, that's I don't know how long that can last for him, but it's a great shtick. I love the stuff when he puts his hands in his pocket. Joey, if you don't know who that is, after we're done here, go just YouTube Orange Cassidy, and you know what we're talking about. Let me see. Here's a question from Chris Jordan. Since we're getting a Stan Lee, do you think we will get the rest of the Marvel original creators? I don't think so. Joey?
I'd say if we did, it would be maybe Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko. Maybe, but not likely.
I mean, do you guys even know what they look like? I don't. I know the names, but I don't know.
I know what Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko look like. I mean, I know what Rob Liefeld and Todd McFarlane look like too, but no, I'm not even getting the Stan Lee figure even. So
you're not getting the Stan Lee?
I'm passing on Stan Lee.
What's that?
I'm passing on Stan Lee. I have no desire to have him. I mean, I like Stan Lee and everything, you know, but I have no desire to have his figure.
It's because he's not what if he was a comic version of Stan Lee?
Maybe I'd get Stan Lee. We actually didn't finish answering Nightwalker's question earlier about the Legends of next year.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, I squirreled.
Because I got cut off when I was in the middle of talking.
I apologize.
No, I got cut off by my connection.
Oh, I thought I did.
And he said, no. I came back and you were talking about that. I'm like, okay. Next year, see, Doom and Skrull are the only good ones in that Fantastic Four wave. I don't know how you feel about those. The rest of that wave.
I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna build the Skrull. Actually, I shouldn't say I don't think. I don't know. I want to see it, but I want to see somebody in hand reviewing it. I don't know where that's going to happen now, but maybe it'll happen before December 31st. But I want to be able to see it first. From what I'm seeing, I don't care much for it. I'm getting that Doom, and I'm thinking of anybody else in that wave. I don't think so. Maybe the Rabbit. What's her name?
White Rabbit's in the Spider-Man wave.
Oh, so that's not well.
The Fantastic Four wave is the 4 Fantastic Four characters with their black, ugly, stupid costumes. And the spikes on their feet and their shoes is stupid.
Who else is on Fantastic Four? Doom and
She-Hulk. Or Hulk.
Yeah, I thought about getting that She-Hulk, but I passed on it. So all I pre-ordered that Doom from that wave. That's all I'm getting.
I'm getting Doom for sure. I'm gonna keep Super Skrull for sure. I have to buy the whole wave to get the Build-A-Figure parts, but I'm not gonna keep them. If I do keep them, I'll use them for fodder. Like that Human Torch thing.
You gotta come on, true believer. Regarding your Stan Lee comment.
Excelsior.
Hey, here's a guy that we've been talking about Joey's been talking about you for 2.5 hours. Michael Kern. He's been promoting your work. What's up, dude?
Yeah. You missed out. I showed all the villains, talked about your Ronin custom, your Nitro custom a lot, and you missed it. What's it called? That Demo Goblin wave. First thing, it's strange that Super Skrull and Demo Goblin are even the Build-A-Figures in the first place. Those are like Demo Goblin just uses the regular, a regular body mold, and Super Skrull uses Hyperion body mold, which is just strange because a couple years back when the Guardians Wave 2 came out and Death's Head was in that wave and Mantis was the Build-A-Figure, someone I remember watching a video, someone interviewed Hasbro and asked them, hey, why didn't you guys just make Death's Head be the Build-A-Figure and Mantis be the regular figure in the wave? And Hasbro said, and I quote, no, I don't think it's the exact quote, but they said that body mold that Death's Head is on was not made to be a Build-A-Figure, so it would cost more tooling to make it be a Build-A-Figure than it would to just make Mantis be the Build-A-Figure.
Interesting.
And I'm like, okay, well now here we are 2 years later, and 2 figures that use regular body molds are Build-A-Figures.
Maybe they figured out. Maybe they figured out the tooling. Maybe it would be nice to be able to see more behind the scenes stuff. But I'm sure they have to keep things secret so that other companies don't steal their ideas. I'm sure there's a lot of that going on. But maybe they figured out the tooling so that wouldn't be an issue anymore.
Like, it's just fine because I want those figures anyways. But it just kind of sucks because now we have regular size figures, which we've been having that for a couple of years. It's no big deal. But they're figures that I personally really usually want the small figures, usually an MCU figure or something, so I don't want it. But now it's something I actually want, so it's like,
hey, let's talk about that scroll. Let's talk about that scroll. So it's a Build-A-Figure, and I know that it's how do you pronounce his name? Klurt?
What do you? Yeah, can't say his name either. I think it's
English is my first language, so that's always my excuse.
K''LRT.
Okay. So that scroll, but there was a bunch of super scrolls. When I read through the comics, there wasn't just one super scroll. Klurt was just one of the ones that was popular in the storylines, but and some of them were huge, right? Because they had like Giant Man,
Yeah, well, Klurt is the Super Scroll. That's his name is the Super Scroll, but there are other Super Scrolls, but Klurt is the Super Scroll. That makes sense.
So I just wish they would have, because people would probably wanted to army build those things. So that's what I wanted to talk about. What are your thoughts on that? Why they wouldn't have made it a basic figure that you could pick up? Because
I think because it's specifically Klurt. It's specifically Super Scroll, but I wouldn't put it past them to do a 2-pack, kind of like how we did with A.I.M and the Hydra. Maybe a 2-scroll 2-pack, a big scroll and a small scroll, with different parts from different, I could easily see them doing that.
And who knows? Maybe they will do it. I don't think they will, but maybe they will.
I mean, surprises. I could see them doing that a couple maybe not this year, but maybe not 2020, maybe 2021 they'll do that like they did.
So those waves, Kempo Live saying that those waves that we were talking about are due, in January, but in the past, those January waves sometimes come early.
At least one of them does.
I think the Sandman wave one year came early.
Sandman wave, the Black Panther wave, the other Black Panther wave.
It's right here. What's up, Kobo Cop? Michael Kern says, I hope these small normal body molds aren't going to become a normal thing. Like, which small body molds is he talking about?
He means as a Build-A-Figure. That's what he means.
I agree. We want something at least the size of Caliban, but even Caliban, he could have came in, right? He could have fit in the box. Couldn't he fit in the box?
He could, yeah, but I'm more okay with someone Caliban size being a Build-A-Figure than.
Yeah, Ken Pool Live brings up that Hit Monkey was a Build-A-Figure. What a joke that was. And these are small. Well, Puck. What about Puck?
And Rocky Raccoon.
And, that was the worst, I think, man.
Rocky Raccoon's been re-released 3 times as since then. So, it's stupid.
Yeah, so we need more scrolls. Here we go. Okay, Joe, you get dibs on this because you're known as the big MCU hater. They're trash, quote unquote, is usually what you say about them. Give us your defense of why you don't like MCU figures.
All right, a couple reasons, and then I still want to finish Nightwalker's question after that. But a little side. So I don't like the MCU. I mean, I like the movies. Movies are great, but I still nowhere near as good as the old school comics. There's nothing to me that's better than 70s to 90s to early 90s comics. No matter how good the MCU is, how much I love the movies, another thing, I'm not, having a fictional person on my shelf is okay, but I'm not a big fan of having little Chris Evans on my shelf looking at me. You know,
Hey, wait a second. The last one they did, the worthy cap was beefier. It's
no,
beefier.
I don't mean that in general. I mean, I don't, especially with how realistic they look. It's kind of creepy. I don't want Robert Downey Jr. to be staring at me while I'm sleeping. You know. No, but another thing is the movie look realistic, and which is great. It's it's amazing, but I like the comic books. I want them to look like comic book characters. I'd prefer them to look not realistic if possible. In the movies.
And that's exactly my feeling. Like I like some of the MCU figures. Like for example, the one that he has, the chick. What's her name again? Nebula. That's a nice looking figure, but it still looks comic-y to me. It doesn't look super realistic. I have the same aversion that I want. Obviously, when we're looking at it, I love the MCU movies. Huge fan. My favorite movies that have been put out. I love them. My whole family, take my family to them. But there's just something about the figure of an actual human being that it just doesn't fancy me. I prefer the bigger, larger than life muscles that even the biggest roided out people don't look like these characters. I want them superhuman, and that's my preference. Whereas I think some other people that love the MCU, they want those are the people that will maybe collect the hot toys too. That there's something about the realism of a being that they like.
And if you want MCU figures, you have many different options. You have Legends, you have SHF, you have Hot Toys, you have whatever. Mezco does them too. Comic figures, really the only companies doing comic figures is Diamond Select, rarely Marvel Legends, and now Mafex. I'm not counting Mezco because Mezcos aren't actual comic figures. They're their own interpretation of comic figures. Like they look realistic. They're realistic MCU-ish looking. Like they look like they could be real life costumes rather than comic book costumes. So I don't even consider Mezco being comic book figures. But for MCU figures, you have all these other options. Legends, you don't have. I mean, movie figures, you have all these options. Comic figures, you don't. You really only have Marvel Legends for your Eels, for your Blizzards, for your Nighthawks, and
Right.
Mafex is never gonna do those.
And I think that's why Marvel Legends is my favorite toy line to collect, even though I like where Joey wants them to, like, his custom figures to look like other Marvel Legends. He wants them to have a certain look. He wants like the accuracy to the comic. For me, I take those Marvel Legends, and that's my favorite line to collect. But I like to make them. I like to soup them up. I want to make them look super premium. Whereas he wouldn't want not that he wouldn't like them, not that he wouldn't appreciate it. And correct me if I'm wrong, Joey. From just talking with you, that's what I've gathered from you. Like if you get a super awesome custom that you put them next to your Marvel Legends and it just doesn't look like the line, you'd be bothered by it, right?
If it stands out too much, yeah. That's my problem with like cloth capes, for example. If I got one cloth cape, I'm gonna need everybody to have cloth capes,
right?
Because I don't want them to stand out. Like I love Thor, and Thor would be awesome with maybe a cloth cape, a good quality one. But then I'm gonna need one for Beta Ray Bill. I'm gonna need one for Mysterio. I'm gonna need one for Magneto. I'm gonna need one for Nighthawk. And Nighthawk getting a soft goods cape is damn near impossible with the way his cape is. So it's like it's I can't. It's not gonna. It's just I have a preference, and you're exactly right the way you said it.
All right. When you finish answering Curtis's question, Nightwalker's question, and we'll go back.
So the Spider-Man wave. I'm same thing as a lot of figures I don't like in that wave. I don't want the Spider-Man figures. I really like the I can't think of his name right now. The martial arts guy, Shang-Chi. I really like Shang-Chi. He's my most wanted in that whole wave. Huh?
Shang-Chi has nipples.
Oh yeah, that's why I like him.
Nice. Well,
No.
that's T-Man978 sent me a picture today in a chat, and apparently they actually put nipples on Shang-Chi.
Because I have 5 Namors for a reason, right? No, no. I just think I've been wanting a Shang-Chi figure for a long time. White Rabbit's the other one I want. The other one I want.
Oh, the White Rabbit. I think that's where we went off. That White Rabbit, the way that her costume looks, you can make a White Queen with kit bashing her and some other figures.
A little bit of modification, you can do that. Yeah. The Vulture, I like him. I like my Toy Biz one still too. That's why I'm gonna keep both. I'm gonna use one as the alternate head with the other one for Blackie Drago. Because I'm a psychopath, having multiples of same characters all the time. And Demo Goblin, really, really want him. Wish he wasn't a Build-A-Figure, but I'm still gonna complete the wave to get him.
That's rough. So, Chris, did you finish Curtis's question?
Well, there's a couple more Marvel Legends waves we haven't gotten to yet, but so far that Black Widow wave, I don't know if you know the characters in that wave.
Name some. I can't think of any.
We have 3 that were revealed so far. It was Crossbones, Spy Master, and Winter Soldier.
The Winter Soldier looks good.
All 3 of those are must get. Yeah, all 3 of those are must gets for me. Crossbones, I wish he was on the Hercules body. But
yeah, good. What did they put on? What's the body that they? What's that?
Hyperion.
Did they fix the neck on Hyperion?
He's using the same shitty torso he's had since 2013. So
yeah, that's unfortunate because all they need to do is bring that neck forward. I recently did a custom of the gauntlet.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
And I just moved the neck forward, and it looks 1,000 times better.
All they really gotta do is use the torso they used for the Unworthy Thors, because they use the same arms and the same legs as the Hyperion body, but they gave him a different torso. I don't know why they don't use that torso for the other Hyperion body figures. Yeah, I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they made that, especially since they had to have gotten back to them word that Hyperion mold people don't like because the anatomy just looks so whacked because
and they have this amazing body mold with Hercules, and they haven't used it for anyone. They reuse the arms for Thor, but that's it, and then the last wave I know about, unless I'm missing one, is that strong guy. The Age of Apocalypse wave. What do you think about that wave?
I like the way the Wolverine looks. I'm trying to think of who else. I'm probably not gonna care for the Apocalypse, the colors and stuff. I don't really like. I think do you think what's the Build-A-Figure going to be? Do you think it's going to be Apocalypse, or do you think it's going to be like Sabretooth?
Because I'm thinking either Sabretooth using the Caliban body, or like they would reuse Caliban's wrist gauntlets and everything too. I can see that. Or Sugarman.
I'd be interested in a Sabretooth on a Caliban body. I mean, that's a monster size Sabretooth, even bigger than the Omega Red body.
But Age of Apocalypse Sabretooth is huge.
He's huge. Yeah, that may be a character I may be interested, depending on what they, what they do. One of the things about Hasbro that I wish they would change is that their sculpts on the body, they're too soft. Like there's not enough detail. And that's one of the things that I appreciated about the Toy Biz, because they had very intricate sculpts. I just find everything on Hasbro, except for the faces. I think the faces are okay, but when you get to the body, just everything's so smooth. And I've noticed that, right? Because when I'm painting stuff and I'm using Toy Biz parts versus a Hasbro part, it's very easy to, the raised details, the paint just goes on a lot different. I don't know why I'm saying that, but I just wish they would would do more detailed on their sculpts.
Now, my opinion on Age of Apocalypse, I'm not a big fan of Age of Apocalypse. I'm not a big fan of that storyline at all. But a couple of those characters in that wave have made it over to the 616 universe, so I'm gonna get those ones. Like I'm gonna get Dark Beast. I'm gonna get Sunfire because I have this Sunfire.
Yeah.
And he sucks. He sucks. I mean, his head sculpt looks. What is it? His head sculpt looks cool and all, but he uses that old Bullseye body mold from Toy Biz, and just not good.
I don't mind that old Toy Biz Bullseye body. It doesn't. It's like I think the ankles were kind of janky on it. Like they didn't have that articulation. But as far as the look, I was okay with it. But that's a cool looking piece. I'm wondering, if, the new head sculpt's not as cool. You can switch it out and put this head sculpt on there. Yeah.
So who knows? I'm gonna get Wild Child. I'm gonna customize him to go with my Alpha Flight. Because he was a member of Alpha Flight in the 616 universe. Nate Gray, getting him. And depending on the Build-A-Figure, who knows? I might get the Build-A-Figure. Depends on who it is.
Yeah, I'm like how the action figure looks. If I'm not familiar with the character, if I have no vested interest and no storyline that I've read, and I don't really care for how it looks, I'll pass on it completely. If it's a character I'm familiar with, and I look at it and I think, oh man, I can improve on the paint, or I can switch out some parts and make it look, whatever, then I'll pick it up. Otherwise, I pass on the figure. Chris Jordan, let's move on from that. I think Curtis has had a lot of attention. Now we got to give it to some other people here. I'm not familiar with the Thieves Guild.
Watch the X-Men animated series. They have a whole episode dedicated to the Thieves Guild and the Assassins Guild.
I'm in season 2 right now.
I think it was in season 2 or season 3.
Okay, I'm close to it.
Basically, Gambit used to be part of the Thieves Guild.
Okay.
So basically, a lot of them are his siblings, or not his blood siblings, but like because he was a homeless kid, so people he became families with.
Belladonna and young Remy LeBeau. That's probably
Belladonna, who was Gambit's wife. She's a big part of that. The Assassins Guild just look really cool. They look really cool. If you see them, when you see them on the card on the episode, you'll be like, "Oh, those are the guys that he was talking about. They look cool."
Okay.
But otherwise, they're not really important for the Marvel Universe, but they look cool.
90s X-Men Morph. I'm sure that's got to be around the corner for Hasbro to do one. And which one? I'm sure they would have maybe the evil version too. There you go. Hold on, let me bring you up here. Put your hand behind it, and maybe that'll help focus it.
Okay, I gotta hold. Let me.
Oh, you gotta get a hand for the camera. It's gotta be a Christmas gift to yourself.
Funny.
Back up. Back up. Ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, it's not gonna. But there you go. There's your morph. You want it? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna sell it. Even though more. Oh my god! Because I didn't grow up watching the X-Men animated series. I think it ended before I was even born. When I watched a couple episodes when I was a kid, I remember Morph in them, so I wanted a custom of them. After rewatching it now, watching it now as an adult, I'm like, Morph annoys me. I really do not like Morph.
Well, I mean, those are kid cartoons, and the storylines were. It's kind of like I don't know if you've ever tried to rewatch old cartoons from your childhood before. I've tried to watch He-Man. That was my childhood. And I've watched Transformers. I can stomach Transformers because I absolutely love Transformers. but the storylines are mostly whack. And the He-Man, oh my gosh, just awful, terrible. But I loved them as a kid, and I think that's what's happening with the X-Men cartoons. It is annoying, but I remember when I was a kid wanting those X-Men because I saw Spider-Man and Friends, so Firestar and Iceman were in that cartoon, and I kept on going, oh man, I want more superheroes. But they didn't make those cartoons. I think those X-Men cartoons came out in the mid 90s, right?
I think it was like I think it started in 92 or 93.
That's when I was graduating high school. Okay. So that was, I was moving on. I was a baseball player. I was playing in college, and that was stuff for me. I was, I wasn't. There's a period of time I tell everybody from like the early 90s, or I should say, when my late teens to my early 40s, there was no nerd stuff, and then all of a sudden, boom, it hit. So
yeah, I wasn't even born yet, so I think I might have been born when it finished. But yeah, huh?
I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, I said I might have been born when those cartoons ended. Like,
well, you got to watch them on reruns, so that's why I'm not a huge fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because it was, I think it was that period of time where baseball was my thing. Then I put the comic books away. Pretty much, probably by the time I was like 17, baseball was my life. Like it really like involved, and so I didn't read another comic till I think 2014. So just think about that. From 1993 to 2014, there was no nerd stuff in my life.
Like that the X-Men's cartoon is so cheesy, but I just hated Morph. Morph's laugh is just, it pisses me off every time he shows up on the screen. His face pops up. I just want to walk and just punch my screen because I hated Morph when he pops up.
But you're loving watching the cartoon.
I love watching, getting to see stuff I didn't get to see as a kid. I'm watching Fantastic Four now. I finished X-Men and Spider-Man. I'm on Fantastic Four now. I'm on episode 5 of Fantastic Four, and man,
yeah,
Fantastic Four's theme song is terrible. It's terrible. Just call it four. Fantastic Four. That's the fucking theme song.
Oh my gosh, Joy. They're gonna record that and they're gonna put that as a meme. You shouldn't have done that. If Michael Kern's around, you're done. You're done, bro. I think we'll end with this one because we're already at 3 hours and it's past my bedtime. I don't know how Joey's still up. They need to make a Maverick and more Reavers. I think they're going to, because they've given us a couple of Reavers already.
Well, right? The Reavers for sure. We're gonna get more Reavers. I know that for sure, because what's his name? The guy who works at Hasbro loves the Reavers and he's been wanting them for years.
They're really cool. They're cool characters. They're cool characters and they're unique looking.
Yeah. Well, Maverick, he's what we really need. I've seen some really cool Maverick customs lately on your videos, and man.
Yeah, these guys have been absolutely killing it, and they're really unique because they're penciled in the comics a bunch of different ways. So
yeah,
you'll have a general look, and then sometimes they'll be more human, and then some other times they'll be more cyborg or more machine or whatever.
Oh yeah, that this customizer named M. Jorgensen, he made an incredible Maverick custom there a couple weeks ago. I don't think you showed it on your video. I don't think I saw him just customs. I saw him on Instagram myself, and it was great. I was blown away by how good that thing looked.
I may have missed it because I hadn't done a show like next week when I do the final this week in customs. I'll probably miss some customs, and I try not to, but there's a limited amount I can put in there. But Kent Pool Live said we need a lady Deathstrike. And yeah, so she's associated with the Reaver, so I can see them releasing her.
And she's a Wolverine character, so
the toy business wasn't very good.
Terrible.
Some of the
Ugly.
parts are good though.
Yeah.
I seen you like kit bash her.
Oh, I just realized we skipped a wave earlier. We didn't talk about that X-Force wave with Strong Guy build a figure and
All right,
Warpath.
we'll stop with that. We'll end with the strong guy wave since you seem passionate about wanting to talk about it. I think that's a wave that I'm probably going to buy every figure because I want strong guy.
I really want Strong Guy. He's missing from my X Factor, so he's the only one I need now.
And it looks like it's a good, and that's the hard. In my opinion, that's the harder uniform to make him in. Like I've seen Chris Serta make him. I've seen. I'm trying to think of some of the other customizers that have made that particular costume.
Glenn Fitch has made a couple.
I think that's the harder costume to make. The other one with the X down the chest is the one that I was planning on making. But now that they're doing this strong guy, I don't have to worry about making that one.
Yeah, and then and then there's Warpath in that wave. There's that, which Warpath looks great. I think he could actually be beefier. Like he's on the Omega Red body, which is big, but Warpath is Omega Red's 6'11". Warpath is 7'2", and he's just huge. I think he might have worked up more on that. That body they used for Colossus and Death's Head. Use that body, but change the arms. Don't give him the mechanical arms. Give him the metal arms. Give him human buff arms, and be much better. And that Deadpool, that X-Men Deadpool, I don't know how you feel about that. Are you a big Deadpool fan?
I'm not a humongous Deadpool fan. I think I have enough Deadpools in my collection. But the X-Force, you're talking about the gray uniform?
No. I'm talking about in that wave they're making the blue and yellow X-Men Deadpool.
Yeah, I don't need
pass.
It. Yeah, huge pass for me. I don't need it.
Oh, I think Brock froze now.
I'm frozen? No, I'm not frozen, player. You're frozen. Let me see if I add you again, see if that'll help you. This is a sign that we need to end the chat while we still got 30 plus people in here. There you are.
All right. Well, I think that's a sign to end it.
Yeah.
Oh, but then there's Sunspot, and Sunspot's a must-have. So that's the end of it. And he's an external too. Sunspot would be the start of the externals. So
interesting. And that's the one where he's completely dark, right?
Completely black and has the bubbles, and it was on the New Mutants, and he's also an external, and he had a big connection with Gideon back in the 90s in the X-Force comics. So
yeah, and I think I actually remember reading those. It must have been like 92, 93 X-Men, and that was towards the end of what I read.
Yeah, I remember Gideon right now because I know you mentioned Gideon, and it'd be cool to have a Gideon figure too. But anyway,
right. Let's end this stream. We I don't know. I think this was for the people that are watching live because I'm sure there's no way that people are going to watch when they see 3 hours. People are not going to watch. Hopefully, they'll watch the beginning of it so they can see all the cool figures.
At least the first hour.
Maybe if somebody's motivated to put it in the comments, put a timestamp when the showcase ends.
I want to say it was around 1 hour and 32 minutes.
Yeah, so maybe I'll do that so people don't get put off by the 3 hours. Joey, why don't you let the people in the chat know where they can find you if they're interested in seeing some of your stuff? I really like watching your videos because I like seeing other states, like all that stuff that you got. I recently finished watching your latest episode, Life with Joey.
The snow in that episode is nothing of the snow is now. My whole car is underneath snow.
Yeah, I saw you started filming it when your car was starting to get buried.
Yeah, and now it's all the way buried. Anyways, you can find me on Facebook at JBRIII Collector, Instagram at JBRIII Collector, and then YouTube I'm JBRIII Collector as well. But I'm no longer going to be posting on YouTube. So Facebook and Instagram is the preferred place. If you want to send me a friend request on Facebook as well, it's just Joey B. Rodriguez III. So,
and I'll have those links in the video description, and I'll have it especially to your Facebook group. I almost called it Marvel Collector, but that's not the one. It's called Assembled.
And if you want to check out my Facebook group, it's Marvel Collectors Assemble. We're almost to 2,000 members, and when we hit 2,000 members, we'll be looking for a new admin because we need some more help. And we're at 1.97K or something like that. So
close.
Yeah. So thank you guys for tuning in. It was real fun talking to Brock and showing you guys my collection. And hope to catch up with you guys on my video. Hope to see you guys on my page.
Awesome. Well, thanks for doing this show. It was all about that collection, man. If you didn't have that collection, mine is all put away. Hopefully one day I'll be able to display them soon because we're looking, well, more info on that later. But anyways, thanks for watching. And if you're a fan of This Week in Customs, I will be putting out the last episode, the regular episode for 2019, and then we're going to go to declare a champion. I think maybe 2 more episodes. We'll declare the champion, and then that'll be it. And then I'll just be on a holding pattern trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the channel. And maybe we may continue, and there may be a season 2 of This Week in Customs and other things, or it may end and I may move it to Facebook, or I might just go, it's time for other people to create content and for me to watch. So with that, we're going to end the stream. Thanks for watching. Brock and Joey out. All right.